All right, Matt. Here we go. You're live.
From the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios, high atop Baltimore Street, in a maximum security facility complete with central air, it's AG Today.
This is Ken Gavin.
Hi, this is Jim Hessler.
This is Dan Casella from the No Pollution of Cowardice South Jersey in the Civil War podcast.
Hi, this is Greg Elder.
Hi, this is Kelly Gormley.
Hi, I'm Nick Bascuzzi, and I'm from Pittsburgh, and I absolutely love addressing Gettysburg with Matt. Listen, he's got the greatest salmon jerky you've ever had in your life.
I love this podcast.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg
Today.
Gettysburg, wow.
Where did this idea come from?
Party people in the hay house. That's us tonight. We are party people. All of us, it was very quiet and subdued in here, and then Bethany started singing the Banana Boat song, and we got high on a supply of Harry Belafonte. Mm-hmm. We did Shake Sonora, and then the Banana Boat song Deo. Yes, and you told us an interesting fact that they don't measure bananas by feet; it's hands, like a horse.
Yes.
You don't have a 8 foot tall horse. You have so many hands, and it's the same thing. But we were saying, well, it must be because 6 hand, 7 hand, 8 hand bunch makes no stupid sense. It doesn't sound good to the ear. 6 foot, so it's easier to get out.
I will bring in that CD that I have and sometime, and you can listen to it with the hand in it. You
so
actually
that's the
forget
children's
that the foot,
version that has.
Yeah, you forget that the foot.
See, I don't like. You're not doing anybody any favors when you make a pop song accurate. Right? Like you're not helping you're not helping Harry Belafonte's artistry. You're not helping me enjoy the song because now I'm like, well, hands. So what is it?
Sorry.
Everybody understands foot as a unit of measurement and also the thing at the bottom of your legs.
I assume
not everybody
that
thinks
it's
of hands
because they look like fingers.
And that's why that's the reason why you think they measure it in hands?
When they're not measuring it, they're telling you how many bananas are on the bunch.
Yes, but they wouldn't say 5 fingers.
But whose hand are we using, by the way? Whose hand is?
Well,
is
how many fingers do you have?
I have 5.
Okay, then that means there are 5 bananas.
So then it's 5 fingers of bananas?
Yes.
Not hands.
Well, what if there's 8 bananas in a bunch?
What
do I have to do?
8 hand.
I gotta do this?
I don't know what to tell you, sweetheart.
I think somebody who knows the proper handage measurements should, the banana measuring should
call it.
Yes, if you know how to measure your banana, please. I mean, a bunch of bananas.
I bet Grant knows the answer to this.
Yeah, he does. Grant knows everything. Your mic's on, Colby. Yeah. What?
No, they don't. Okay, never mind. I'll shut up.
Grant does like to measure bananas, I was told.
Yes.
But that was by somebody who doesn't really like him, so I'm not going to say that's accurate. No.
Are we going to go with our... Speaking of Grant?
Hey, let's say hi to everybody. 60-second PVI Bugler, Marie, Debbie Jones. Wait, Debbie Jones is right here, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? She's in the comment section as well. Fraser Baby, Babra Schultz, how you doing, Babra? A-Cup plays, 6 questions lengths, and that's it so far. Oh, no, wait. Sorry, there's South Battery Pfeiffer. I didn't mean historical music and stories. That's a long name.
60-second PVI.
On a ferry crossing New York Harbor, just waiting for the show. Very nice, very nice. And Peter Zach is in there as well. Hello, David Heisel. Oh, David, I haven't seen you in a while, my friend. I miss you, and I hope you're doing well. Okay.
Do you want an answer to the banana question?
Yes, if you have one.
Okay. According to this, bananas are measured by hands because a single banana is often called a finger, and a cluster of bananas attached together on a plant is referred to as a hand, making it a convenient way to describe the quantities of banana in a bunch.
So it's not that they're using...
Not say that?
Wait, but do they use the hand? Now I'm confused. Do they just call a bunch of bananas hands because of the... But it's not that they measure with a hand.
No.
Correct. Using hands as a measurement provides a quick and easy way to gauge the quantity of bananas without needing precise counting.
So then the line is lift 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. So wouldn't then a bunch be many hands? And he's lifting a 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot. Yeah. So
He's
then,
lifting
Don't they get them? Don't they harvest them with poles?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I haven't gone banana harvesting in years.
Okay.
Ever?
So let me tell you. So let me tell you this story. The other day, I come into the studio.
Yes.
And I have a video of it that I'll show you guys in a second. But I come into the studio the other day, and there is a package right inside at the bottom of the stairs. Actually, right inside the door, right? And I go, oh, I know what this is. So I open it, and why don't we just do this here? Wait, let me I'll stop the music. We don't need it right now. Okay, let's do this. Colby, if you go to whatever camera my computer is, there we are. Let's watch and see what the gift is.
All right. Looks like something has come to the museum for Matthew Horatio Calorie of addressing Gettysburg. This can only be from someone in Australia. So let's see. What has our friend Grant sent? I knew something was coming. He said, you've got to pick a package.
I can't see what it is.
Look at the picture on the.
Oh, that's funny.
It's phenomenal.
Like he actually. Actually spend his money on this.
Grant, you're my favorite.
Thanks, Grant. I'll hold on to that for a few years from now.
Tomorrow.
So okay. Here it is. We'll put this in the closet in the bathroom, Cindy, for when I get there.
You're not going to do a fashion show for us?
No, I can't. I don't look as good as the model they get. Isn't it funny they get a guy who doesn't need Depends, like a young man.
Look at that smile.
Because he's very happy to have his Depends. He's like, I'm confident I can walk around now. I have my Depends, but and it's not to make fun of people who have Depends. Grant is, if you guys are offended, be pissed at Grant. But there's two things, I guess. One for the Metamucil, which I will be using, and the other for the thing. It says, enjoy your gift from Devin Maloney. And then enjoy your gift from Ralph Zurowski. So thank you, Ralph and Devin. But Bethany, you were what? Tell us about your experience with this insanity.
I went into work, and on my desk, the girls had placed it like this because they know that I think Amazon is the devil. And so they knew that it would get my attention immediately. So I look at it and I'm like, I didn't order anything because I don't from Amazon, but sometimes from work we have to. And it says Bethany Portabella Yingling. And I said, okay, weird. Funny. Now mine didn't have a little.
You didn't get Are you sure? Look in the envelope. It might be stuck in there.
There was nothing.
Often they get stuck. Nothing.
It was a bag. No. It was an empty bag. That's
no. Wait, there's something in it.
That's so good, dude.
Yeah, you're still my favorite, Grant.
A Greece
so funny, Grant.
travel guide from 2024. There are no pictures.
This is very anger radiating off of her right now.
Huh?
You see the anger just.
I know.
Not radiating.
She's looking. She's thumbing through the pages and she's looking at all the Greek people and she's like fuming.
Greeks, man.
Look at how red her face is.
But there's that's
it's almost
the
as
acne.
red as her chair. That's the acne.
There's lots of nice blank pages in it for if you
her
want to make notes.
Write hateful things.
And so I have it sitting on my desk at work like this, with the book on top.
Yeah.
And my one girlfriend comes in and she goes, "Hey, I'm going to Greece."
Did you immediately tell her to
You
get
kicked
out?
her?
And I said, "Oh, well, I need this for Thursday, but if you want to borrow it, by all means, go ahead, because I bet you, based off of what I've looked at so far, there's a lot of very interesting information in here.
Very nice. Well, yeah. Well, are you going to let her borrow it?
Well, yeah, but I needed it for today. So.
Yeah, of course.
But Grant, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Grant, for thinking of my future.
And thank you for making sure that I,
Peter Zach says yours is good for when you have a colonoscopy coming up.
Yeah, right.
Already had it, Peter.
Yeah.
By the way, so I meant to tell you about this on one of the previous shows. I had to have one a couple weeks ago,
yes,
right? And now I had originally scheduled one last year, a year ago. And I went in there and they're like, okay, that'll be $4,985 or whatever. And I go, what do you mean? It's supposed to be free. It's a screening. And she was like, well, in here it's coded as, whatever. And
Specialty.
I go, yeah, like, and I was like, well, no, my doctor's like, you're 45. You need to get so I'm like, so they're like, well, you have to go back. So I did all the prep and everything and... Nothing, right? Didn't do it. So then it took another, 9 months before they called me back, and we rescheduled for a couple of weeks ago. So I went and I did it. Did the whole fasting and, all the clean. It's disgusting. But I'll tell you something. When I woke up the morning of the colonoscopy, I felt like $1 million. Mm-hmm. And I told the nurse this when I go in and we're laying there and they're getting your vitals and all that stuff and asking you questions. And I said, I feel fantastic. And she's like, yeah, we're not built to be in a constant state of digestion. Uh-huh. You got to give your body time to work on other cells and do things and everything like that. And so I think what I'm going to do is starve myself every other day because it
say fasting
feels amazing.
Well,
that's what she said. She's like, do the intermittent fasting. All right, listen.
See, I don't have this.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, the phone lines are open now if you want to call in. I see we have somebody waiting in the queue. Don't get impatient and go anywhere. Oh, don't we all love that?
That's for shipping it.
Shit. This is going out.
I have a bunch of bubble wrap.
Thank you. Oh man. All right. Well, so Grant is of course our listener of the year, and I showed you guys a picture. Now listen. First of all, I want to show you. She couldn't stay. She had to walk the dog. Captured Colors Glass, Gettysburg, PA. Look at that. The core badges on the... whoops, where are we going here? It's hard to do that backwards. Core badges on the backside. Jessie Weedleton, licensed battlefield guide extraordinaire, does this. She's very talented with it. And this is the 2024 Listener of the Year Award. Ooh, look at that. Look at the lettering, guys. I thought she was just going to write it with a gold marker, but that is beautiful. Addressing Gettysburg Listener of the Year
Award.
Thank you. I was like, what the hell?
It's a lotya.
A lotya. 2024. This is for Grant. We're going to send this off to him in Aussie land, along with a couple of other things that I have selected for him. Well, I say I have selected for him. I will eventually select for him. So there you go, Grant. You send horrible gifts like Depends and Metamucil, and I actually blew some coin on something nice for you. So I just want you to know that. All right. And yes.
The thing that threw me off and why I didn't think of Grant right away is because it says that it was fulfilled in Middletown, Delaware.
Right. Well, it's Amazon.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But like...
That's not actually coming from Australia.
I wanted it to come from Australia.
Well, see, I thought too that he was going to give us like some kind of like a didgeridoo or a rain stick or something.
Cool. Not a frisbee. What are they called? Boomerang.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But instead,
I wanted a boomerang.
He gives us Depends.
It's okay, Grant. I loved my gift. Thank you very much.
Like if it was a didgeridoo, I'd have it here against the wall, and whenever appropriate, I'd be like, "Wow!"
You would never stop playing.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be constantly.
Oh my God!
The new open of the show would be a didgeridoo.
I see that one room in your house having that in the corner.
No,
that's not what it sounds like.
No.
But yeah, no. Yeah.
Everybody just tuning in is now concerned that we're having strokes.
What, Colby?
You sound like you're trying to do that like Tibetan throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do that either. So, yeah, but anyway, Grant, thank you, though. The thought was lovely. It's the thought that counts, is what they say when they hate your gift. What else was there that I wanted to tell you all about? Oh, so we moved.
Yes.
All right. House closed on last week. We moved on Tuesday. All the big stuff. I got to tell you, you made Cindy cry.
Did I really?
Yeah. And she told me, she's like, no, please don't tell her or she'll feel bad. And I was like, no, listen, I had to sit there and nurse you back to smiling for 45 minutes. Should we tell the story, Sin?
Yes, you should tell it.
Now that you've
Sin, do you want to join us and tell the story there? All right, so you were helping us move and everything, right? And helping the unpacking and cleaning really is everything. Mm-hmm. And where was I, Cindy? I was somewhere. Oh, I was recording a show with Jasan Hileman, right? And I had assumed I'd get back and, a lot of progress would be made. Cindy has Beth to help her. I don't feel bad that Cindy's all alone, and everything. And I come home and she is sitting on the floor, Indian style, crying in her hands and Major licking the tears on her cheeks. And I'm like, what the hell happened here? And why didn't you get anything done? And she said, please don't yell at me. Bethany didn't show up. And I was like, what do you mean she didn't show up? And she's like, I don't know. She's in the room. Go ahead. Tell us about the horrendousness of the evening.
I mean, I don't remember much. It was just a very sad evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of tears, lots of... Remember in Titanic when the ship is going down and the old couple is in their bed and he's holding her and they're kissing their final. That's what I was doing. She was crying and I was comforting her the whole time as if we were an old couple going down on the Titanic and about to die together.
So what's your explanation, Bethany?
So Bethany apparently was playing psychologist, which was more important than the oath that she took.
Okay, I didn't take an oath, first of all. Second of all, I showed up at my house and my best friend was there. Mm-hmm. And she
likely story, by the way, right?
Sitting on my front porch.
Yeah.
Oh, crying.
Because Mark wouldn't let her in?
She didn't know Mark was there because Mark was down in the basement. So she rang the doorbell and he didn't hear it. And so, yeah, she was bawling. So why?
And why was she bawling?
Well, that makes two of us.
Oh! Ouch! Ouch!
Well, this make me feel horrible.
Ouch! I mean, dude, the bus came back in reverse and hit you.
How do you juggle two crying people, right? Like one comes to you unannounced, unexpected, crying.
She chose who she chose.
Well, best friend. I mean,
Yeah, clearly Cindy knows where she falls in the hierarchy.
Wow. We're just busting your balls. This didn't happen.
I felt horrible.
No.
I texted her like 12 times. But like the other problem was that I was getting in the car to go and she texted me and said, I feel bad having you come because it's late now.
Right.
And you have to work tomorrow.
Right.
I was like, okay, well, I'm sorry. I feel horrible. So, I don't know. I'm the worst.
Scorpion woman!
Were you able to solve problems for your friend?
No, not really.
You scorpion woman!
So you couldn't even solve her problems?
Well...
Oh. God, you're batting 1,000.
Yeah,
dude.
really.
Getting to be goddamn
I
ridiculous.
can't really solve death.
Oh, God.
There you go, trying to pull the trump card on us.
I know. Come on.
Sorry.
Marie would also like to know why you had Mark chained in the basement.
He wasn't chained in the basement. He was down there.
Listen, next time you come home and someone's crying on your front porch, you
Turn
go up
around
to
and
him.
drive the other
you go
way.
up to him and you're like,
Listen to me, you whining little whelp.
And then you just say, get out of my way and go inside.
That's what I do at my house.
Yeah. No, well, okay. I'm very sorry to hear that your friend lost somebody. See now, okay, you won.
Trump.
We played a prank on you, and now
I do feel horrible.
you pulled the trump card.
I feel absolutely horrible. I even said to Mark, I said, they're never going to want me to help.
Never fight uphill, me boys.
And they're going to tell me that I'm a horrible person. And
Yeah.
you did, so mission fulfilled. Wow.
If it makes you feel any better, Bethany, I did offer to help because I said I have my Monday and Tuesday night open, and they didn't text me.
Well,
You said, well,
I was willing.
Well, we didn't need to text you because
You thought
somebody
Bethany
was
was
coming already.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'll be there tomorrow. Shut up.
Gettysburg, what an unbelievable battle that was.
0.0.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
That's my favorite one.
All right. Well, anyway,
Mark wasn't chained in the basement. He was
That's what you
working on something, and then Ezra can't open the front door.
Did you hear me?
And he went
I
down and
didn't.
told Mark that there was somebody there at the door, but Mark didn't come up. So
Did he not believe
I
him?
think he thought it was like a salesperson, and yeah,
Let your friend choke to death out in that river.
yeah, right.
yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what he did. He let your friend choke to
He
death on
really
your front
did.
porch.
You know what I like when speaking of salespeople, I've done this a few times in the last week. Is anytime a political party comes to the house, I just tell them I'm the opposite party.
Right.
Immediately, and the look on their face is hysterical. It's happened like 6
Oh
times
yeah,
this week.
they can't imagine.
I don't know why he wouldn't want to go to the door. I think you had him chained.
He had him chained.
Where is he now?
Yeah, where is he now?
where's Mark now?
Yeah, is he still
Yeah.
in the basement?
He probably is, but not still. Like he went to work today. And all
Yeah,
that.
I don't know. Your story's not holding up.
Yeah.
Poor Mark. Did I tell you about the gang thing?
He
Oh,
was
the
he,
shirt. God,
he
yeah.
was mugged by gang members.
Oh no, about being at work
No.
and the Hanover
No.
Target.
No.
What happened?
What happened? What happened? What happened?
And again, with you can't tease us like that without telling.
Yeah. What do you?
Yeah,
You look like,
oh,
you're-
is this
you look like
another-
you're trying to not tell us?
No,
what
no,
you-
no. I'm trying to figure out what I should say and what I shouldn't say. Okay, so he ordered shirts from
Blah,
Duluth.
blah, 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 blah.
Okay, because you have to wear certain shirts.
For work.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And he always orders 3X because,
Because he wants room to grow.
well, he's not a small man. And so his
Chippendales has really let themselves go, huh? That's what you're saying? They've lowered their standards?
Yeah, no, he's not a Chippendale. But
Your-
he's super cute.
Your face.
No, but he so he ordered these shirts, but he didn't realize he had picked from like the big and tall section. So when they came, they're gargantuan. Like
The
you could wear
gargantuan
them
and
as
tall section.
tents.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I said, when you go to kneel down, you're gonna have to lift that up so you don't trip over it. Like if when you're wearing a dress and you're kneeling and you go to stand and you yeah.
Right, sure.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Everybody knows, what that's like.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Colby. And he went, and they asked him if he was in a gang.
Because of his
They
shirt?
thought he was, because it was so big, they thought he was carrying like a weapon or whatever.
Oh my word.
Really?
And they thought he was in a gang.
They looked at him and genuinely thought.
They wanted to know who he was with, what gang he was in.
Where is he working?
The Hanover Target.
Now, is it the fellow employees or the management was like, yo, bro?
Fellow employees.
I thought it was the management being like, who you with?
Yeah, no, they.
What street you?
Did he not get it? Did he get upset over it, or?
He didn't get it to start.
Uh-huh.
And then they were like, and then he was like, are you in a gang? And it's like, no, I just don't know how to order from Duluth. And, God bless Mark.
Yeah, of course.
He's the sweetest,
I'm from
cutest
Clarion.
human in the world.
Well, you love him and you married him, and
did.
you're stuck with him.
You got that quick. Was that from earlier?
No,
that was from a couple of months ago.
So that's just how I scream.
That's just her thing.
Dude, I like it.
She gasped.
You don't do that?
Dude, you inward scream.
No, yeah, you inhale your gasp.
So for the audience to
Well, I
know
guess a
what the hell
gasp is
happened,
inhale.
I'm sitting in the break room back here, and Debbie arrives and rings the doorbell. Now, it's literally right behind my head, which I didn't realize.
Right.
And it scared the God-Jesus out of me.
The good Jesus.
Good Jesus. So
That's very internal.
I inward screamed, and Colby acted like it was the greatest noise he's ever heard in the history of noises.
He really did enjoy it.
It was pretty good, dude. It caught me so off guard.
Yeah. Yeah, you did kind of like
What scared me?
No, him.
Oh. No, he turned around and he's like, that is the greatest thing. Did you just do that? Did you inhale or exhale when you did that?
He couldn't believe he couldn't understand the mechanics of your gas.
And the volume. I mean, it was loud for an inhale.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I was impressed.
Listen.
Well, wonderful.
I'm impressive.
You are. You are.
And then to top it off, and I feel really bad because can you really tell on here? I don't know.
What are you trying to show?
What?
How bad my acne is right now.
Get out.
Well, you keep pointing it out and touching it, people are going to notice.
Okay. Well, in my defense, I'm on a different medication, and it's causing my hormones to go crazy.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's a bummer.
That is a bummer.
Yes.
If I had $1 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if I had a nickel.
Yeah.
For every time. All right. Well, listen. Speaking of nickels and dimes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to. So, what have we got going for the show today? Oh, we have so many things that you
He's
are
not
just.
Chris Farley as a Chippendale. That's not what Mark looks like.
Did Grant say that? That sounds like a Grant comment.
No, that was
Everybody's
Eric.
working for the weekend. That's funny. That was good,
Poor
Eric.
Marky.
That was good. All right, listen, back
That was pretty good.
to reality here. Here's what we've got going on today, folks. We've got Jasan Hileman, licensed battlefield guide extraordinaire. He's coming in. This is a thing that we're going to do up until the guide exam comes in. I'll ask guides to come in, give us a little bit of 5 pieces of advice for people who are aspiring guides about to take the guide exam. Whatever their advice would be, doesn't matter. I don't give them any direction except for be short and pithy with it, and that's about it. And then we had Ralph do it about a month or so ago, and
You
Ralph
told
took
Ralph
45
to be
minutes.
short and pithy?
I did tell Ralph. I said, Ralph, I just want you to rattle it off.
There's no way in hell.
45 minutes later, he's like, all right, I guess I'll go. So, but we enjoyed it, and it was people loved that anyway. And so we're not going to be really, time crunchers with
Jason, did you hear that? Short and pithy.
Try for short and pithy, and let me stretch it out. You understand? Let me stretch it out. You go short, I go long. Okay,
I get the impression he can handle the direction.
I think he got it. We talked about it extensively the other night. And then also, Bo Brinkman is in. Chris Webb is Chris here too? I imagine she is. Yeah, I see her sunglasses. And they're here from the Gettysburg Film Commission. They're going to talk about the final night. I'm very excited for this because this is my second choice for classic movies. I love this movie. It's Psycho, and it is by Alfred Hitchcock. It is a classic. It is what really kind of started the whole horror genre, which when you
it's one of the scariest movies I think I've ever seen.
I don't, but I love it. I love Alfred Hitchcock's movies. There's just something about the way he makes them.
And there's a reason I've never seen it.
It's the problem.
It's not scary. It's not scary.
It's not scary as like a slasher movie.
It's psychological.
Scary. It's psychologically scary because now you start thinking,
wrapped in a riddle.
Is there somebody watching me?
Right,
all the time.
When you're in the shower.
And that's why I don't watch it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like sleep.
Well, you should try to. So we're going to take a break. And we'll be right back after these words with Jasan Hileman, and then we'll see where we go from there. That's what we're going to do. Okay? We're going to fly by the seat of our pants tonight, ladies and gentlemen. BRB.
Sounds like a good plan.
Aren't you glad you used Dial? We are too. We'll be right back.
Bro.
The Gettysburg Museum of History, located right here in the center of Gettysburg, PA. Owner and curator Eric Dorr grew up here and has spent his life collecting and preserving history through artifacts ranging from the Civil War, the Battle of Gettysburg, World War II, presidential items, pop culture, and more. His museum is free and open to visitors Wednesday through Sunday, 11 to 5 p.m., where you can stop by and immerse yourself in some of the most amazing artifacts that you would never believe exist in the middle of Gettysburg. If you're a fan of Band of Brothers and Everything Easy Company, you'll love his exhibit featuring the Dick Winters collection and artifacts from D-Day. You can even own your own piece of history by buying one of the many relics they have for sale in the museum and on the website GettysburgMuseumofHistory.com. The Gettysburg Museum of History is a non-profit 501c3 organization with a foundation that allows all purchases and donations to keep the museum operating and open free of charge. They have been featured on the History Channel, the Travel Channel, the Smithsonian Channel, and the Science Channel. Now you can check them out on American Artifact, the series on the YouTube channel, The History Underground. So that's the Gettysburg Museum of History at 219 Baltimore Street or the GettysburgMuseumofHistory.com.
Gettysburg's first and premier podcast about living in and visiting Gettysburg has returned from that long commercial break. Thanks for sticking around. Here's Matt.
I know, but I didn't know.
All right, we're back now, and thank you, Cuevas Grande, for that introduction there. And Barn Resort, ladies and gentlemen, that's where we're going to have the Christmas party this year. So I'm wearing the Barn Resort hat that was given to me by Brian, the owner. Bethany is still trying to get hers.
Yeah, I do want to point out to Marie that there is somebody always watching you. His name's Eric Houston. Just saying.
Jasan Hileman is our guest today.
Listen, it makes sense. You just need to read the comments.
Licensed Battlefield Guide. And Jason, I've asked you to come on the show and do some, give us some advice.
Something short and pithy.
I'm sorry. Yes, some short and pithy.
Something short and pithy. Yeah.
What would you tell people who are studying for the guide exam? You say to them, they come up to you, Jason, I am studying for the exam December 7th, 2024, a date which will live in infamy. And you are a guide. So give me some advice. Tell me what to do. Let's do the top 5. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Top 5.
That's good because
okay?
I only have 5.
Good. So let's start with 5 and work our way down to number 1.
He's good. He wrote them down.
Is that pretty good? Okay,
Yeah,
here we
I
go.
don't even know.
Number 5, Jasan Hileman. It's a short song, Jason, so you want to
go ahead.
You want to say it over the song?
We're going
We're going 5 down to 1.
5 down to 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be that quick. Go ahead. Ready? Go.
Learn it.
Learn it.
That's
Learn
number
it.
5. So we're doing.
All right, so we're done.
Yeah,
Now let's discuss number 5 a little bit. You're learn it. So you learn the battle.
So my first piece of advice is step at a time. The way it is today, it's 5 tiers, right? So you got 5 steps. So I got my 5.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
you're so good.
Yeah.
You're so good.
Analytical.
Yeah.
Number 5, learn it.
Learn it.
And from this, take one step at a time. Focus on that particular step. The step that is before you is knowledge exam.
Right.
So learn. Just
So in other words,
I've heard people asking about, well, how do I do a tour? And don't worry about
it.
all that
You're
stuff.
not even
man.
going to get. You don't even know you're going to get that far.
I don't say it that way. Like you're not going to get that
That's
far.
what I say.
Don't worry
not a
about
nice
it. Don't
thing to
worry
say.
about
But
that.
isn't that good advice, though? You don't know that you're going to get
Step
that
at a
far.
time.
Right, one step at a time.
Focus on what it is you need to accomplish at this time, and that is knowledge.
Right.
And with that, I would say it's kind of like the jack of all trades, master of none.
Right.
Is don't focus on anything overly.
Too much.
Like some people focus on learning all the monuments. I have to learn all the. Okay, if you learned every monument on the whole battlefield, but at the expense of all the other information you're being asked, understand. Just learn the really prominent monuments. Drive around on the ones that you know people are so prominent or are so important to the story. Know those. You can't be expected to know 450 monuments and when they were dedicated. No, it's just not reasonable. And always ask yourself on a subject, have I gone deep enough? Because how many questions can there be on this subject? 10, maybe? If I blow the whole subject, how many have I missed?
Right.
Right. So make sure you're diverse, right? Because you got to go antebellum, all the subjects.
Who's she?
And
Antebellum.
Reconstruction, antebellum.
Antebellum.
So diverse. So that's my first tip.
All right, your first
Learn it.
tip is learn it. Now let's move on to tip number 4.
Forget it.
Forget it. Wait, what? Record scratch. What do you mean, forget it?
Forget it.
What does that mean, forget it?
So my best advice after you get past the learn it is now you got to forget it.
Right.
You have to let it go.
Okay.
Okay. Now, and it's very, very hard because when you go through the process, you study and study and you bust your butt memorizing, learning, getting facts, figures, all this information. And then the last thing they think about is that I'm not going to use it.
Okay.
But that's the reality.
Okay.
Is in a great deal, you're not going to use it. So let's go to that next step. Tier 2 is interview. You're not using it.
Right.
You are not using that knowledge. You're going to go to tier 2 interview. And now, I forgot to read my disclaimer. My attorney told me to read before I got on here. The views and expressions expressed in this show have no light. No. This is based on my experience.
Of course.
2015 4-tier process. So it's just this assumes you're going to have a similar process.
Right.
You go to the interview. They're looking for concise. Can you relate? Can you be coherent in a short space? Eye contact? Are you personable? Right? It has nothing to do with knowledge. They're not going to ask you questions in the interview to see if you know something.
Right.
Yeah. They're looking to see how you present an answer to a question in a very relatable, coherent, concise way.
Yeah.
For my interview, I was done, and I was actually worried walking down the hall to leave. I looked at the watch and I think I was in there 5 minutes. And I'm thinking, oh man, I might have blew that.
Yeah. Very unlikable.
But then you find out later that was actually the good.
The less you're in there.
The answers were short. They were concise. Good eye contact. You related. You were personable. It doesn't have, they're not, if you're in there for 20 minutes, you're probably not going to get through because it's too long.
Oh, that's good to know.
You're just talking too long.
It's good to know because I like to go
don't sit there and pontificate
It's the opposite of
about
an interview.
Right.
Yeah. Like a job interview.
Yes.
Right.
Right. All right. Well, then what is...
Because this interview is about somebody who's going to present stuff, right?
What is number 3?
Forget it.
Wait, that was number 4.
Oh.
What are you saying?
No, it says right here, forget it.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, so it's forget it again.
Yes,
you know
sir.
why? Tier 3 is the guide school. So if you get through the interview, the next thing is you're going to go to think about what you're going to learn at guide school, which is how to do a tour. You're going to frame it for a theme. You're going to talk about things about how to greet your visitor, how you're going to tailor your tour based on where they tell you they're from, what their interests are, what their occupations are, what's going to draw them into the subject matter, how to do that. You're going to talk about things like driving skills, about driving around the battlefield and keeping your hands on the wheel.
You never think about until you're doing it. It's very difficult to do.
So these are the things that you learn at how to do a tour, how to do it well, and what the expectations from the NPS are about your conduct, your appearance, your behavior, and you need all of what you learn there for the next step, which is, that oral, but you don't need that knowledge.
We have a caller with a question.
Oh.
So let's see if the caller has the question to ask. Who is this? David? I think it's David. You're on the air with a question.
Hey there. How are you guys?
Good, David. How are you?
Good. I'm glad you can hear me. Look, I'm really excited to take the battlefield guide exam, but here's my question. I've looked all over, and I can't find any academic research about orbs and things, the more spiritual nature of the battlefield. So can you, sir, I know you're very professional and do these guides, but could you teach me maybe where to go to find more of the more spiritual stuff?
Yeah, he wants to learn for the exam about orbs and other ghostly images that show up in photographs. Who would you recommend he read for that?
No idea. Wasn't.
But would you say
hasn't
that's
been part? Wasn't part of the
10, 15, 25% of the test? The written is ghosts.
0%.
0%.
0%.
So you don't have to worry, David.
You do not need to. No.
Okay, sometimes I go out onto the battlefield naked at night. Is that a problem?
Well, you shouldn't be out at night.
Yeah, there's naked any other time. There is no
though.
restriction that I know of about naked.
I haven't seen that in the compendium. I don't know. Or in the list of whatever the hell you're supposed to read for that. Yeah, I haven't seen anything about being naked, but I know you can't be out there at night.
I think in the annual agreement,
Naked during the day. Totally cool.
Totally cool during
now,
the day.
when you get your license, I don't think you can give a tour naked. Is that correct?
You have to be
I was just going to say, when we sign our annual license renewal, statement of understanding, I think it's pretty much on there.
It says you can't be
if you are found naked on the battlefield at any point in time, this license will be revoked.
Okay. How about what if you give a tour to nudists?
Compromise.
What if you're
What about Vikings?
hold it? What if you're hired by a busload of nudists?
No,
you have to be in the gray
that
and
would
the
be bad.
green,
I'd
or the
probably
gray and the
end up
blue.
on
Yeah, gray
What'd he
pants,
say?
blue
Yeah.
shirt.
Anyway, no, I'm actually not taking the test. I just wanted to screw around with it.
Thank you, David. I appreciate it. Are you coming to the Christmas party?
Yeah, for sure. I just signed up for it.
Good. And by the way, David, it says last time on the air, September 28th, 2023. Okay, you're a little overdue for participation in the show, so I expect to hear more from you. Okay.
Well, I hope I made up for it because this time I talked about wearing a girdle and a Viking helmet during broad daylight on the battlefield.
I missed that part. I thought
that's when you muted him.
Oh. Oh, I'm sorry, David. Say that again. I muted you because I was trying to talk.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I am.
Oh, wait. Okay, this didn't work. I now it's even more awkward because I was just saying, like, yeah, I literally, I was like, you're like, yeah, it's been a while since you called in. It's overdue. And I was just saying, yep. But today I called in and I talked about wearing a girdle and a Viking helmet on the battlefield. So I win.
You do.
Maybe.
You win.
I don't know.
David, thank you very much. We must get on to number 2 and number 1. All right. But thank you for the call, sir, and I'll see you on Christmas, or at the Christmas party, I should say. All right, Jason, what is number dos?
Very important.
Forget it.
Wait, hold on. I'm starting to see a pattern here. 5 was learn it. 4 was forget it. 3 was forget it. Now we're on number 2, and it's
forget it.
Forget it.
Because tier 4 is the oral exam.
Okay.
Okay. You do not need that knowledge for that oral exam.
Stop it. Now, wait a second. The oral exam, I'm taking around, a ranger and a couple of guides or something like that?
I'll guarantee the vast majority of people who are taking that exam already had the knowledge that they will convey for that 2-hour oral, because the level at which you provide that tour is so high, very simplistic.
Meaning 30,000 foot view.
50,000 foot view,
Most
Matt.
airplanes don't go that
50,000 is you're way up here.
Yeah.
And when you prepare for that, there are things your coach, your mentor will keep track of, like how many people's names did you mention?
Right.
And the fewer the better.
How about driving skills?
Driving skills, right? You got to keep one hand on the wheel
at all times.
At all
right?
times.
At all times. Never take both hands off the wheel. And in fact, when we were examined, it's probably still the same way. We were informed there are 3 things that will end the oral exam immediately. You won't even have an opportunity to finish it. Take both hands off the wheel, disobey a traffic regulation sign or light or whatever, or speed over a certain amount.
Yeah,
they will 5 miles over or whatever.
Yeah.
Because,
But not in the park. In the park, they want you going right at 25, right?
Right.
Or whatever the limit is on the road.
Speed limit, yeah. Is those, and it's interesting because the 3 things that stop the exam are all
Driving.
safety related.
Nothing to do with
Nothing
knowledge.
to do with knowledge at all. And one of our mentors, Rob Abbott.
Rob Abbott, the great Rob
His
Abbott.
famous, most common statement when he was mentoring our group was ham sandwich. It's a plain ham sandwich. It doesn't have cheese, no lettuce, no toppings.
Not even mustard?
This is what you're creating with your tour. A ham sandwich.
Uh-huh.
Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. Right?
Yes,
Okay?
yes. Okay.
And you have to pack the knowledge away. It's not about you showing the guest your knowledge because you have 2 hours with these folks. What are you going to leave them with?
Would it be fair to say that the only person who's impressed with all the things you know are you and your mommy?
Yeah, I could see that fitting.
Yeah. Because, the average tourist.
So if somebody's out there saying, well, why do we have to study? Well, because there is this expectation that if they ask you a question, you will know the vast majority of those questions, and you have the context to frame the answer to that because you know it so well.
Yeah, okay.
It does come into play in relatability, but as you're doing your tour, when they ask you a question, you'll feel good. I do know that, and I can explain to you why something is the way it is because you've gained that extreme knowledge.
Yeah.
So you do.
Yeah.
And the licensed battlefield guides have this legacy of their knowledge level. And that goes all the way back to the history of why there is. Right. And so you do want to uphold that. And we're very proud about that. And the people who are studying for the exam, you should be proud about it.
Right.
And you're pursuing the guide exam, and you know that. What I'm trying to convey in these is you'll use it. Don't become exuberant overusing it because it'll trip you up. It'll end up tripping you up if you're not able to compartmentalize it, pack it away. You'll be able to show your Superman at some point, but you don't need it, at this point.
Because they're not. So in other words, what you're saying is the knowledge, your knowledge, is determined by the written test. Everything after that is testing something else.
Correct.
Personality, ability to follow directions and not drive off the road or kill people.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it, brother. It is, and Guide Supervisor Angie said it, and you may not want to believe it, but it's true. We already tested you on your knowledge. We're done with that. She said that numerous times during our school and during.
And I think she said that a bunch of times when she was on the show.
Yeah. And it's true. Is you may be skeptical about that, but it's the absolute truth. They're done testing you on knowledge.
Yeah.
When you get past that exam, that's it.
Yeah. And your knowledge base actually comes into play for I am the user of your knowledge. So then this is when you start to get phone calls from people like me that go, hey, we have fall muster coming up. Pick a topic.
Right. Specialty tours.
Yeah.
And
that's
special
where
walks.
the knowledge comes in.
And that's why a lot of guides love the specialty walks, the special tours. I love them because you're actually in the depth that we as historians and guides love to be at.
Right.
But that's not a tour. That's not, 95% of your tours are dealing with not even novices.
Right.
They're just a stop by visitor.
And they're not interested in all that
But
stuff.
here's the thing. You get a small window of time to impress upon these folks what happened here.
Yeah.
And if you blow it by being overly technical, overly depth, they won't get it.
Yeah.
They'll come away confused and say, well, we stopped at Gettysburg. You have a little bit of time to try and hook them.
Yeah.
And that's why the personality, the relatability, the coherence and logical flow of expressing to them the importance of what they did here in Lincoln's words is your opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's what that's what this 4 of these tiers are about, is getting that. Because you want to hook them.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to hook them. You get a couple hours to hook them.
You're the ambassador to the public.
Yeah.
For Gettysburg, for the Civil War even, right? Because, most
American
people are only going to
history
visit
even.
here if they visit any Civil War sites. It's going to be here.
Yeah.
So, you're kind of it's kind of a big responsibility to, you're the impression. You're the one that's going to leave the impression on them.
Yeah.
And again, I say this as if I have done it and know what I'm talking about, but I'm only saying this because I've heard it so many times from all of you guides who I have on the show. We talk about this stuff when we're not doing the show, and this is what I'm hearing most people say. Real quick, Cindy or Debbie, could you get me in the closet in the hallway? There's AA batteries. Could you grab me one, please? Thank you kindly.
And don't forget, I have one more.
You do have one more.
Well,
That's my number one.
I do want to say one thing based
What?
off of what you're saying, because I think it's brilliant. One of the things, and I don't think I'm speaking out of school here.
You've been out of school for years.
Well, I'm in charge of it, so I guess I can say what I want. But so at the for the foundation, we have the Friends Desk.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put this out there. If you pass the guide exam, which I hope all of you do, contact me, because I think one of the quickest ways to get an idea of what the average visitor is to go into that visitor center and experience it.
Right.
And if you are willing to sit down and become a volunteer at the Friends Desk, you will experience that so quickly. The number of times I've watched new volunteers come in and they think, oh my God, I'm so excited because I'm going to get to tell everybody everything I know. And then a customer comes in and they just want to buy a hat, and watching somebody go, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Like it, you have to learn that the customer is what you're basing your nerdiness level off of. So if their nerdiness level is high, go for it.
The impression I have is that, a lot of this crop that's taking the test now grew up watching Gary, Tim, and then Jim Hessler, and
they think that's what it's going to be every day.
And they think that's what you have to be, which you don't.
No.
That's not going to get you the license.
No,
the license,
in fact, it'll trip you up. You won't get the license.
Right. And so the whole idea is to figure out, and this is what we talked about with Angie too, is like, or no, it wasn't with Angie, but we had this conversation on a previous show. You're being licensed to give a 2-hour tour, a general 2-hour tour.
Correct.
Nobody GAF about your deep knowledge of one regiment or another, or uniforms or weapons or anything.
Now, once you have the license,
that's a
I
different story.
GAF about your ability to do that.
And I do too, because I want you to come on this show.
Yeah, and I want you to do muster.
Yes.
But like,
because God knows I'm not getting the goddamn license.
If you pass the test and you want to see what it's really like to talk to, because some of those people come in and it astounds you how much they do not know. Come work at the Friends Desk. I will put you in there, and we will get you acclimated pretty quick.
I think that's the one thing I'm glad that I had the experience for on and off for 20 years working with Getty's Bike.
Oh, I bet.
Because I get to see what people come equipped with, and it's virtually nothing.
Yeah.
And so like and it's so overwhelming. See, this is the battlefield is so overwhelming to somebody, and we talked about this on the show you did a couple of days ago. People will come here and they hear battlefield, and they in their head they picture like a football field.
Yeah.
And this thing spans miles, and there's a town in the middle of it, and it's like, what the hell? And they're all turned around by the end of the whole thing, and it all you're really supposed to do is orient them, right, and give them a good story. And is that accurate? Okay, good. Did you guys find the battery back there?
I think they're looking for it.
Okay, it's in like it's not in like your typical Duracell thing. It should be like the middle shelf in a clear plastic thing. All right, number 1, Jason.
What is it?
Forget it.
Wait a second. What? Come on, I can't believe this again.
Tier 5, because it's Tier 5, and once you get past your oral, then all you're doing at Tier 5 is uniform details, how to get tours, where you get tours, what forms you fill out, how you report your tours, tax advice, how to handle supplementary income, how to ride on a bus safely, what the expectations are of the
how to
NPS.
work tessitura.
So the how-to of guiding. So, but
I forget it.
Yeah, right.
But this is all important stuff too.
It's orientation.
How
guide
to be
orientation.
a guide.
It's guide orientation. Yeah.
I always wonder about like what do you call it? Like, well, you mentioned taxes, right? That's a big thing. Yeah. Taxes, and then My question is, and apparently this isn't a thing, but liability insurance or making yourself an LLC. So if you screw something up and hurt somebody, you don't lose your house. You're out there with the public. You're driving their automobile. There's, I mean, it's safer than say riding a bike, or a horse, but still,
there's things like when you meet your tour, and you ask, would it be okay if I drive your vehicle? We typically do that because we know where we're going and we know all the turns. And the safety of the park. And most people say, absolutely, here you go. You can't do that with a rental.
Receipt, yeah, right. So
rental vehicles, if you think about it, when you get your rental, they want to know all your drivers. They don't know who your guide is when you get to Gettysburg. Now, there's a special insurance that a local provider has framed up that will actually cover you to drive rental vehicles. But to me, you have to get 200 tours a year to justify paying the premiums to operate rental vehicles. So there's been plenty of times I'm picking up a tour and they say, yeah, here's the keys. And it's got that funny plastic thing and there's multiple fobs there. And I go, this is a rental.
Yeah.
You have to drive.
Yeah.
So
I would too. There's no way.
Yeah.
What would be
even though like my chances of getting in an accident are pretty small.
Yeah, no.
I'm not. No, it's not worth it.
Because that's the one time you will.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What would be your advice to someone who thinks I'm going to get my license and I'm going to quit my job at Domino's and I'm going to be a full-time guide and make my living that way?
That's pretty tough.
Pretty tough. Why is it tough?
That's pretty tough. You're going to do a lot of tours.
You're going
to work 6
and
days a week.
And not everyone is John Fuss.
Right. And
it's you're going to have to do a lot of buses.
It's easier.
Because the bus rate for the tours is where you can make your money.
Yep.
Right.
Would you say that it would be easier for someone who is a regular on Addressing Gettysburg?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because the tours come rolling in.
Oh, yeah.
Or somebody who does all of the events that the foundation puts out there.
Yeah. Like you got to do other things. You got to whore yourself out, if I may.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I'm less than part-time, right?
Right. Because you have a full-time job.
Yeah, I have a full-time job. And people have asked, well, when you retire, are you going to do this? I don't know that I am. Here's my fear, is if I do it 2 times a day, 5 days a week, I don't know. I'm not worried about getting sick of it. I think I would lose the passion for it.
I can tell
special.
you.
It's still special. When I put that uniform on and I walk up the sidewalk at the visitor center, it's still a special time because I held guides in such high esteem. I still have a hard time believing I am one.
Right. I do too.
I do because of how the pedestal I looked at them on. And a lot of times
you didn't hear what I said?
What did you say?
I said I do too. I have a hard time believing.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And I do want to say this about this. You learn it, but then you got to quickly forget it. But I don't want people to think, oh, where'd you get? Because I had to live this. This is a reality that I had to realize. Believe me, when I practiced my first oral, it was 3.5 hours. I struggled with this mightily.
Why? Because you wanted to show everything you knew?
Yeah. And when I had a mentor, thank goodness for John Fitzpatrick, who took the notes and said, you named 15 people. Why are you bringing this person up? And you said a post, tour to go over how you did, and you're still an hour over your target of 2 hours.
Right.
You have to start to realize I cannot share this information. The information I end up sharing, I knew before I started studying for that.
Maybe it's like, how history nerds complain about movies because they don't tell enough of the story. There's not enough historic detail. There's not enough of, that didn't happen that way. That's like a condensed version of everything. But that's kind of what you have to do. You have to do what you hate, which is like tell a condensed version of the story. Correct. You don't make composite characters up or anything, but you have to, you just got to get the high points and move on.
Yeah, and at first that might be a struggle, but here's the beauty in it, and that I've come to really appreciate.
It's easy.
Is it works.
Yeah.
The most fulfilling thing is when you give a tour to the most casual visitor. They didn't know anything about it. And at the end, they go, wow, that is amazing what happened here. Could you recommend a book I could read about this?
Yeah.
Or, when they make a statement like, I never really appreciated history. But I'm, you know what? I'm going to look into this a little bit more. Or, you had the opportunity to hook them, and strapping a bunch of information on them is not what inspires them.
Yeah.
That's not what inspires them.
Yeah.
What inspires them is you made it relatable at the level that you sensed and you're getting across, and it worked.
I can.
And it's the children, and you relate to them.
Yeah.
And you don't blow them away, but you can hold their attention, and they're paying attention to you because you're talking to them.
Yeah.
And you're putting it in terms that they get. They're getting it. Okay, it's beautiful when it works. You don't have to, strap the knowledge on. You have it. They ask you a question. Yeah. Let me explain to you because I can relate, because I truly understand the depth of this subject matter. I do. And it's how you get it across. That's the beauty in it. And you come to appreciate that.
Some of my favorite emails that I get from people are, I've only gotten this maybe 3 times since I started doing this, but it's, I used to be into this stuff 30 years ago. And then during COVID or during this or during that or whatever, when I was laid up for back surgery or whatever it is, I was like, well, let me see if there's anything about Gettysburg out there. And then I found your podcast, and I like it because it's relatable, and I don't feel like I'm being lectured to, and all that other stuff. And you get great guests on, and it's you guys that they always say make it, good, because you can just talk, and it's not a lecture, and it's it's something that, and it gets them fired up again over it, and then they want the lecture, then they want the deeper stuff, but they first have to get that spark,
right?
And that's something that so I know that works. That advice works because I hear from people all the time.
And I told you once, people had mentioned this show, and I didn't know what it was, and then I caught a few episodes of it, and I remember telling you when you came to our roundtable meeting, I said, you know what I like about your show is that you don't take it too seriously.
No.
It's conversational, it's fun, you're making it enjoyable, and then people can get into it because you're making it relatable and enjoyable, and it's not, we're not taking it too awfully serious. Something that is very serious
It's a very
subject,
serious
very
thing,
serious subject.
and it's very depressing.
Yeah, right. I mean, we're not making light of that.
Just turn Siri on my phone.
So what is it? It's learn it, forget it.
So, Bo, you're in the back there. You've seen, of course, Waiting for Guffman, right?
Oh yeah, I love that.
That show. Right, great movie. It's about a small town community theater having a play and everything like that. And remember the scene when the director, Corky St. Clair, is getting in an argument with Bob Balaban's character, the music director. Yeah. And they're talking about should they do the songs or dance or like they learn the script and everything. And Corky's thing is like, well, I want them to learn it and then forget it. Yeah. Right. And then he's like, well, why would you have them learn it and forget it and everything? Like it is good advice, right? Because
I've heard that all my life, like Robert Lewis, the great, drama teacher. He's like, learn it and forget it.
Yeah, and why? Because when you learn it and try to remember it, you put too much pressure on yourself, and you end up forgetting it when you need it. Is that right?
Well, it's sort of like that. I think from an acting standpoint, you're too aware of the craft that you're working on, and it shows.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah. And that's exactly what ends up happening because you take the exam and then you're so caught up in it, you can't let it go.
Right. Yeah. Colby, you've been in bands. I've been in bands. We have rehearsals and all that stuff, right? And then when you have a show coming up, what do? Forget it.
Well, that.
All right, shut up, Colby. You're not helping my argument.
But I do have a point that goes in your direction. I mean, even in the Marine Corps, like during a time of war, the minute I got out of like boot camp and School of Infantry and got to my unit, they told me to brain dump everything I learned too. Like
there you go.
There is something to it.
So if it's good enough for actors, if it's good enough for musicians, according to me, and if it's good enough for the Marine Corps, it's good enough for a prospective licensed battlefield guide.
I'll put it in even simpler terms.
All right. If it's good enough for a simpleton.
Yes. Do you remember? Have you ever been in the shower and you suddenly think,
often.
Did I wash my hair? Well, you can't think that. No, did I do something specific in the shower? And then you have to like, it's because you thought about it. If you just stop thinking about it,
then you would never do it.
Your brain is like, it's a troll. It's rote memory. If you just let your brain go, it will do what you want it to do.
Okay.
Okay.
Where you going, dude?
I don't know.
No,
you've taken a path I cannot follow.
All right.
Really? Really? You've never had this issue where you're doing something that you're doing the task all the time, and then all of a sudden you start thinking about it, and then you can't do it?
No, I have no idea.
You've never had that happen? Where you're like doing something the same way like 27 million times, and then all of a sudden you thought about what you were doing, and then you can't do it anymore.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'm trying to know. Oh yeah, yes, no, playing music. Yes, playing piano. I'll be like, yes, I'll start thinking about what it is I'm doing that I've played a million times. And then I'll start like, okay, but so it's A, B, C, C, B, C, B, C, B, C, B, C, B, A. And then I'm like, I'm like, wait a second, I'm screwing it up. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Or
yes.
like when you're in the shower and you wash your hair. I do this all the time. And then you think to yourself, did I wash my hair?
Well,
I do that.
I don't know what the heck you guys are talking about.
You know, and then it's because you started thinking about it, or you. I hate you so much. I get it. I can't even deal with you.
It's
right
wonderful.
Now.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it was short or if it was pithy.
No, it was good. It was good.
Okay. It was brilliant.
I think it was very helpful.
It was brilliant.
I hope it's helpful.
Because
I want them to get through.
Right. If
they put too much work into it.
If our egos will allow us to take advice, right? Because I think everybody has an idea of how this is going to go and how they're going to do it different.
Right.
This is my plan of this is how I'm studying, and I've got the right way to do it. And then nobody ever told them that. And you listen to the people who know.
Yeah, and there's a humility that must exist for that to happen. For you to learn it, forget it, because you're not going to use it in these other examination levels. There's a humility that you got to have to let it go.
Right. Yeah. Ralph said when he was here,
you have the power. You don't have to show it. Yeah. You got to show some other things.
When Ralph was here, it was in September, and I said, it's September, people are preparing for the guide exam, and he interrupted me, and he said, well, if you're preparing for the guide exam in September, save your money. Yeah. Don't take it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't referring to people who just started preparing. Right. but still, like he was kind of saying, like, now's the time to kind of like relax your brain. Mm-hmm. You know, get out there, get familiar with the field, do what you got to do to feel, but don't go nuts up until December 6th.
Mm-mm.
Right.
No.
I'm going to drink until December 6th. See, I've already started.
So I just want to
nerd.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that Jean Hutchinson gets me because she's awesome. Thank you, Jean.
All right, Jean. Great. Thanks, Jean.
No.
All right. So listen, we're going to go because we have another guest that we want to get in here.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you very much, Jason. You're going to stick around and hang out for the rest of the show? Okay.
Yeah.
When we get to the news, you can feel free to yell your comments out from the back.
Oh, cool.
But thank you for coming and doing this. And
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate
Thank
that.
you. Yeah.
And I think
and
that
good
is
luck
good
to
advice.
everybody taking an exam.
Learn it and then forget it.
Yeah.
That is very good advice.
It can trip you up.
Brilliant.
I have put that into practice so many times. In fact, every time I do a show, that's what I'm doing. I'm forgetting everything. Yeah. So thank you very much.
Okay,
all right. So next we have Bo Brinkman, and we're going to go right to them unless you need to take a pee break.
I don't, but
Okay.
my
You all right?
ears sweat.
Okay, well, then take it off for a second as they're changing out the guard here. All right, very good. Bo and Chris are here. They're from the 24 Nights. The 24 Nights was Eric Clapton's live album in the 80s. They're from the Gettysburg Film Commission. Film. And they are talking about the final Cinema Under the Stars. We need a stool for Chris.
Poor Chris. We always...
And no, you're going to use this one here. Hello, Bo.
Hi, Matt.
How are you? All right, there you go. You guys, I don't have both mics set up, so you're just going to have to share that microphone there if that's all right with you. You're not sharing? It's yours? I'm sorry.
Whoa.
All right, so you guys have had a pretty successful season with Cinema Under the Stars, and it's been very enjoyable. I found it enjoyable. There's something nice about...
I don't know if they're
Chris, you need to move over a little bit to your left, because that... yeah, there we go. And then a little behind Bo.
Down a little?
No, that's... But go behind Bo a bit, and then you'll fit in there. Yes, there you go. It's very, very awkward.
Give him a hug.
Put your arm around it. There it is. Oh, always and forever.
So cute.
Each moment with you.
Wow.
Okay. So I'm going to point this here. There. Okay, good. All right.
Do I
so
need them on or not?
No, you don't.
You need to see her face.
There we go. That's how we do it. Okay.
There we go. I talked to your sister this morning, by the way.
Good. Right. Let's just make small talk.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Bo, by the way, your hair looks lovely. So
it is really nice.
only my hairdresser knows
right
for
here.
sure.
Okay. Psycho is, and I'm not talking about these two broads here. I'm talking about Psycho, the movie, Alfred Hitchcock's 1950. Wait, don't tell me. 60. 62? No, 60. 1960 classic. Everybody was afraid to take a shower after Psycho. Forever.
Still am.
For years.
And we're going to reignite that again.
Yes, you're going to make people afraid to go home and take a shower. And it's especially spooky because we'll be in the dark outside.
Wait a minute. We're going to be outside. Nobody will be able to see what's happening behind them.
Exactly.
Right.
This
There's
is
the
fantastic.
battlefield right back there.
Now, here's what I'm hoping people do, Bo. I'm hoping people bring their youngsters, okay?
Yeah, to scar them for life.
Yes. No, because years ago, the Majestic, when they do their Thursday the classic movie night or whatever during the summer, years ago, they did Psycho. And I went and we were sitting behind this family. A guy had taken, I guess, his daughters and their friends. And I was like, I wonder how they're going to react to this, because I had seen Psycho before.
Yeah.
And, I'm like, okay, I get... From if I put myself in 1960s mindset, which I wasn't alive for, but I know they were, a little more, let's say, innocent, maybe, or a little more wholesome, maybe, than we were. So if I'm thinking there, I can understand how Psycho was this big explosion and groundbreaking and also terrifying for people. But how would a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old today look at Psycho with all of the insanity that they're exposed to before they're even 10, right? And so I was very surprised to see. Now, this is pre-iPhone days when this happened, so it might be different now. But I was very surprised to see these girls jump out of their seats in the shower scene.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the blade never touched skin, and the blood was ink.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't matter. In that movie, it does not matter.
Because
it's implied, and your brain can make way more worse things happen than what you actually see on the screen.
Well, what's really bad about it is that in the Bates Motel, they didn't have shower curtains, just the liners. I mean, what a cheap-ass motel that is.
Well, it was a cheap hotel. What do you want?
No, but it's when you see the image of Mrs. Bates through the translucent shower curtain, right?
That wasn't Mrs. Bates.
Shh, don't. Maybe there's people who haven't seen the movie yet.
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about the girl that got stabbed. No, okay,
no.
Sorry.
When you see her coming to do the stabbing, through the shower curtain, that's creepy.
Oh, yeah.
And then, because you're just in there la-di-da, washing your hair.
That you would know nothing.
I don't remember. You want to see?
The shadows were just amazing.
I got this caricature done of me when I was, this is me with hair.
Wow.
I've seen you with hair.
Yeah.
When I knew you had hair.
Is that when you had the wig on?
That was in 1995 on a high school trip to Disney World. I had a caricature done.
Wow.
But
And
that-
he
I
even
had-
had hair on his chest in '95.
I have it
Look at
now
that.
too, and sideburns. So
Wow.
yeah. I remember washing long hair. I had to wash it. Anyway, so Psycho. Love this movie. I love Alfred Hitchcock movies.
I do too.
Are they among your favorites?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. 100%.
There's something about the way he did it.
He was just a master at, and he was just a master storyteller, cinematic storyteller.
Which is your favorite Hitchcock movie?
I like North by Northwest.
Yeah.
I love what he chose to, and then at the end that transition from on top
To
of
the wedding?
to the from the Mount
Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore to the train.
Oh yeah.
You can make it, and as he pulls up, we cut to, and he's pulling her onto the bed.
Yeah.
In a sleeper car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just really, he was really ahead of his time, and the Coen brothers studied him.
Uh-huh.
And because he made a quote a long time ago. He says, once the cameras start rolling, most of the movie is finished because you've already done the work.
Mike, you do it, Alfred Hitchcock. Can you say that line as Alfred Hitchcock into the microphone, please?
Good evening.
That wasn't the line.
What?
Okay, say it again, Bo. Give it to him.
He said, like, once the cameras are rolling, most of your work is done.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, because he did shot lists and storyboards, so the Coen brothers studied him.
He gave up here. Okay. Good.
And they took from Hitchcock and do what they do, which is they storyboard from page 1 to the end. They shot list everything, and if you look at a copy of their storyboards and watch the movie, you can turn the page and look, and it's almost exactly like the image
That's
on the
crazy.
paper is the image on the screen,
Yeah.
And so Hitchcock kind of was the one that started all that. He was, they
always storyboarded, but
they've
he was
always storyboarded.
meticulous.
But he was very meticulous about how his method was, and then the Coen brothers took from his method.
I like the use of camera, the way he uses the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And Rear Window, I think, is a really good one.
I love. I've seen it over and over again. I love it. Yeah.
Rope is.
It's okay.
It's
not
okay as a
great.
movie, but I like what he's trying to do there. I like it for the fact that he's like filming it as a play, but he can't film it all the way through because a reel of film was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that, 12 minutes, something like that at the time. So he had to like push into someone's back so that it went black, and then he would start the next reel.
That would be the cut.
Yeah. And that was
a wipe.
cool.
He would do a wipe, and then boom. Yeah.
So I love the way there's something I don't know, just I get a warm feeling from a Hitchcock movie.
Yeah.
And most of them are pretty
It's
screwed
classic.
up.
I know a girl.
Yes.
An actress who was friends with Alfred Hitchcock's granddaughter, and they watched Psycho in Alfred Hitchcock's study on his television when she was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, he was dead by then, but
Right.
she was, and they watched Psycho on Alfred Hitchcock's television.
That's pretty cool.
It was kind of cool.
So this has been a pretty good season now. This is actually the rain date for Psycho.
Yeah, and it worked out perfectly.
Because Halloween's coming up, and I mean it's really actually a pretty good move.
And
Should have planned it that way.
well, now we are.
Yeah.
With having some kind of suspense thriller close to at the end of October.
This year was classic films.
Yeah, we don't know which way we're gonna go. I think we might stick with classic films, but maybe that
Like
are
westerns,
in color,
maybe,
and some
comedies.
We still want to do some iconic films, but I would love to do a comedy. We were looking at this one film that you talk about. I forget the time it was made. It was, but I know you know it. Cape Fear.
Oh yeah,
the original.
Yeah. Robert Mitchum.
That movie, at first, in the middle, I said, "Oh, we need this film for next season."
Yes.
And then towards the end, I'm like, "This thing is so, it is so dark, and it is so scary. I'm like, would this be good for the general public? I mean,
hell yeah,
it's badass. I'm telling
Everybody's seen at least the remake if they haven't seen the original.
I've never seen it.
Let me tell you, the original is hands down 10 times better and more suspenseful and darker than the one with Jessica Lange.
But it's still good. They're both
good.
Yeah.
Well, and the dark is that it's everything that you would fear.
Yes.
You know
and
what I
also
mean?
it showed Robert Mitchum was seen to be more of more of a pedophile type guy as well, because he had his eyes on this 16-year-old daughter and was
Robert De Niro.
No.
Well, De Niro's pretty.
Yeah, but he never
sick.
He was in a different way. But I don't know. I thought Robert Mitchum was just scary as hell. He was so scary.
Yeah.
And
well, Cape Fear would be a good one. You should do that one.
Yeah, I think we need to relook at.
I have to say, last week was Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
And I had never seen it before. And I don't know why I'd never heard anything. I know the name of it. I'd never heard anything about it that made me want to go and see it. And we were, packing and getting ready to move and stuff. But I was like, well, I want to just go and make an appearance to say, so they could see that I was there and supporting what they're doing and everything. And also, I wanted to get Latino fusion because I haven't had that in a while and I love their food. So we went there for dinner, and then the movie starts and I start watching it, and I'm like, this is a good movie. Like, I kind of didn't want to leave, but I had to leave because I wanted to get that done, and I was also really tired. And
it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
The writing is superb.
Yeah,
Billy Wilder. I think it's one of his best. He's just so good.
But it's another one of these movies where you don't. A lot of these old movies, you don't think of as dark. Or I don't, at least. Like, I don't think that they had dark movies then because there was all the censorship and all that stuff. But man, they were dark.
Yeah,
like the
and you don't
stories.
even see the end of that.
No, I haven't even seen the end.
Yeah, the movie is about how narcissistic an actress can be, and living in the past, and the line, still waving to a parade that's long past. Like hanging on to the curtains of fame.
But it's so. I got up to the part where she basically, like, I guess, hires him to write for her.
Yeah.
And but I loved the narration with William Holden, and the way he's just down on his luck writer, and he can't get anything going.
So dreadful. It's such an ugly look at Hollywood in 1950. It's so dismal.
Yeah.
So I just and it still holds water today, right?
Yeah, probably more than it did
more
then.
than ever. But my apartment was my living room window. My apartment was built in 1927, and it overlooked the mansion. Now it's a parking lot, but it overlooked the mansion that they shot that movie on. Yeah. And I used to stand in that window and look down and go, I can't believe that in 1950 someone in this apartment was watching them work at night.
Right.
The lights and everything.
Yeah.
And it's the history in Hollywood is
crazy.
It's so wild. It's wonderful, the history of Hollywood. I love the history.
Well, I'm going to have to watch that when I can get a chance to watch it on Prime. You said it's on Prime?
It's on Prime.
Yeah.
All
right.
Leave all those windows in your new house open.
Leave it open?
Yeah, it's just like...
Why?
That'll scare the crap out of you.
If there are any listeners out there that have any ideas for next season, classic movies they'd like to see.
I wonder. Let's see if anybody has anything here in the comments here. Well, let's see. Gene says, "Psycho is why I have solid shower doors, not curtains." There you go. I'll be honest. I fell asleep. Matt calling on me woke me up. I had no idea what was going. That's Mike. He didn't know that he was supposed to do his whatchamacallit. My mother was so scared by Psycho that she never took a shower after watching. She only took baths. That's even worse. You can't run away in a bath. I mean, you're most vulnerable in a bath.
At least you have a fighting chance if you're standing up.
At least you could squirt shampoo in the guy's eyes if you're standing. Let's see. No, okay, so nobody has a suggestion for a movie, but I'm sure we'll get some there. But yeah, no, I think Cape Fear would be a really good one.
I think we need to look at Cape Fear again. It's
have
dark.
it, yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
What about something like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or The Wizard of Oz, or something like that?
I don't know. What about Three Amigos?
What about
Three Amigos would be great. Colby?
What about The Hustler?
The Hustler?
Oh, the original?
Yeah, the original.
Yeah.
Who's in that one?
It's Paul Newman.
Paul Newman, and dude, he's the man. When he's
and Jackie
young,
Gleason.
He's young. Jackie Gleason's in it.
Yeah.
Jackie Gleason plays the Fats Domino character.
So, so are you going to try to do a theme or a decade or era of Hollywood for each season? I kind of feel like you should.
Maybe it's something.
We are in the thinking process.
Yeah,
right
we're trying to. We've got a while. We've got our dates already.
Dates are secured.
Secured.
Oh, good.
Now we just have to come up with content, and these things are. It's expensive to get the movie and everything, and the crew. Our screen is almost 400 pounds.
Yeah, it's
30 feet.
It's big. Colby, have you gone to one of these yet?
No, I'm gonna need to come out this
You
week.
come out to Psycho.
I'm really thinking about taking that giant screen back and getting just a little smaller instead of a 24 instead of a 30-foot. It takes 4 men to set that up. It takes a couple hours, and it's all we can do at midnight is to roll that thing up.
Yeah, I bet. And then you're exhausted by that.
It is horrific.
What about though? Like I'm trying to think. Like when you've shown the movies, do they even, because they're that old aspect ratio? Do they even take up the whole screen?
Oh yeah,
they do.
Oh yeah.
Oh okay.
Most of the times they shot widescreen anyway.
Yeah, but these aren't always in widescreen. Like Sunset
true.
Boulevard
Well,
wasn't.
Sunset, you could tell on the two sides, it wasn't the full, the full view.
Yeah.
So that. But you don't even know it once you start watching because it's small enough.
And it's dark and
oh my gosh, and it's still huge.
But you also had our buddy Rebecca Foster playing music last time.
Yeah,
she's wonderful.
Very good. Oh, she's coming tomorrow?
She's
good.
gonna be Saturday actually.
Yeah, she's coming on our Christmas show this year. How about Red Badge of Courage, Cool Hand Luke, Green
Sting.
Berets with John Wayne, The Sting.
The Sting would be great too.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Interview with the Vampire for Halloween.
Interview with the Vampire.
Oh.
That would be good. Or Bram Stoker's Dracula by
Is anybody back there
Coppola.
making a list?
Well, we're recording it.
Oh, good.
Any of Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah, because we really are trying to gather all of it and look at it. Try to come up with.
How about just the helicopter, the helicopter battle of Apocalypse Now?
I think you do the whole movie, man. Just
that one part with Duvall.
Just go full
just
on.
The Duvall.
Clips of all those.
Yeah.
Things. We'll just do
our
clip.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Yeah.
Then we won't have to buy. the
Damn it,
rights
you're
to
from
any
New
movie.
Jersey. What do you know about surfing? God,
easy, dude. He killed that role.
Yeah, he crushed
He
it.
was great.
Did he get nominated for it?
Should have been if he wasn't. Great Santini.
Oh yeah.
There's another one.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring in that
Platoon
book
would be
I
a
have.
great movie to do.
Platoon. You can get Tom to come up
never.
and talk about himself.
I got left behind on that one. I don't want to ever see it again. They say they don't leave their soldiers behind, but Oliver left me behind at a hotel in Los Angeles. So
That was was it Johnny Depp that took your or
no, Johnny had
Kevin.
No, he had one line in the movie.
Who was the one that took your part?
They wrote me out because everything fell flat, the negotiations, and while I was waiting.
Oh.
And so Oliver, when he got there, he just he killed my character off in the beginning rather than all the way through, and they used a grunt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thanks, Oliver Stone.
And it's just funny because when I was doing Gettysburg, I was sitting on a horse on a hill. Tom Berenger and this other guy who had been with Berenger in Platoon, and I was telling him what happened, and all of a sudden Berenger goes, "You're the guy that got left behind? God, we felt so bad for you."
Well, at least they felt bad for you. Let's see. Somebody seconds my Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Rambo: First Blood, old Charlie Chaplin movies, Die Hard, Silent Movie Night with Laurel and Hardy, and Matt and Bo doing the.
Dude, the original Die Hard would be good. Out there, like outside, that'd be fun, man.
Yeah.
Kaye. I don't know how's cussing out.
Yeah. So what is the consensus on cussing? Because you're in a neighborhood, you're on God's land.
Yeah, but I don't think it matters anymore. They cuss on network TV now, you know.
Yeah, but you choose to turn the network television on. If you're laying in your living room or in your bed trying to fall asleep a block away with your window open because it's a cool night and you hear yippee-ki-yay MFers, you know.
I mean, what a great line though.
Of course,
you're gonna hear it.
But I don't think that person's
Jamie's
laying
right there with her daughter. Like right across the street.
Right.
Well, the other thing is there are kids that come. You know, we had kids there. You know, last time and
watch Sunset Boulevard.
Well, I'll tell you.
Oh wow.
I do have a mom and dad who their little girl. She is, I think, in maybe fourth grade, and this little girl,
Mackenzie.
No,
she was there.
Yeah,
how old is she? 12.
Yeah, well, she's older than that. But this little girl wants to see black and white classic movies. She asked to come.
That's cool.
And so her parents bring her to everyone. Now, they're not sure that they're going to bring her to Saturday for Psycho because she is a bit younger, but she has loved it.
Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah. I'd tell you the truth, I'd rather keep it PG.
The Outsiders.
I think Outsiders is a good way. I think PG is a good way to go because in that way you don't have to worry.
Yeah, and it's the general public, and I want people to be able to take their grandkids or their kids.
Right. Right.
You know.
PG for the GP.
That's right. Rear Window wouldn't be bad.
I love Rear Window. That would be great if you did. Or North by Northwest.
Or either one, yeah.
You know what was great about Hitchcock movies besides the way he used the camera and all that stuff? What was the guy's name? The guy who did his music.
Oh,
Bernstein. Elmer Bernstein?
Yes.
Was it Elmer?
No, it was Irving Bernstein.
Irving Berlin? No. Can somebody Google that, please? I'm going to say it was Elmer Bernstein. Go ahead. Give me another one. Let's place a 25-cent bet here. Beth?
I thought it was Irving Bernstein or...
Is it Irving?
I forget.
No, the other Bernstein.
I
honestly don't know if anybody's actually Googling this.
It just who did the music for Psycho or North by Northwest? It's the same guy.
He used the same guy over and over again.
It seems to happen though with like the niche jobs like that in Hollywood, like the musicians and like John Williams has been on every major movie
Spielberg
in the last 30 years.
uses him.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, directors choose a certain composer. I have had the same composer on 3 of my films now, or 4. Yeah. So
who is it, Sid?
Is it the music for Psycho you said?
Yeah.
Okay, it's Bernard Herrmann.
Bernard
Herrmann.
And then who did it for North by Northwest?
Same guy.
Is it?
Yeah.
So who am I thinking of that?
There is the guy that you said. He is a composer and he does music for movies.
No, I know he does, but does he do any Hitchcock movies?
Me and Shane, the one I don't have that.
Yeah.
Oh, copy that.
You sent it to me.
In my bathroom.
North by Northwest was also
Bernard Herrmann. Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Then I was thinking of him. All right, Blazing Saddles. I don't know if you could do that in public like that. Hear No Evil, See No. I don't think you can get any of those Richard Pryor movies.
What about
Planes,
Start the
Trains, and
Revolution
Automobiles?
Without Me?
Huh?
Start the Revolution Without Me.
That's fun. That's a fun movie. We don't need escargot.
Yeah, that's Donald Sutherland and Gene Wilder.
Oh yeah,
it's hilarious.
Is that back in like Donald Sutherland's comedy days?
Yeah,
Yes.
It's a fantastic movie.
He's dead now.
I know.
I know.
It's kind of recent news.
Yeah. Don't be saucy with me, Bernays. You could do the history of the world. It's just for that line. That's the only thing that makes me laugh in that movie.
Robin Hood Men.
So last year you wanted The Searchers. That was your choice.
So was Psycho.
And what a great choice that was. I would have never thought of it. And
it's a great movie.
To see that movie on a big screen was phenomenal.
That's the thing that I think people should understand is that a lot of these movies, most of us have not seen on a big screen. We've seen on our televisions. and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're meant to be seen on the big screen. Unlike today, they were shot to be shown on a movie screen,
right?
Not on a phone or So yeah, you got to come out if you're here on Saturday. Come out. What time does it start? What time should people show up?
Yeah, live
6
music.
o'clock.
Yeah. Food trucks, live music.
Who's the food truck?
Eurobites and Bantam this week.
All right, Eurobites and then coffee by Bantam Roasters.
And they have smoothies and stuff like that.
Sure.
Wait, have you seen Giant? The movie Giant with Rock Hudson and James Dean.
No.
James Dean and Elizabeth Taylor.
Nope.
Okay. That movie I saw at the Egyptian Theater. It was made in the 1956, or it came out in 56, and that movie's a masterpiece. You could hang any piece of celluloid from that movie on your wall and put a frame on it. It is amazing. That might be an idea. It's a long movie though. That's the problem.
I got two others for you. Murder on the Orient Express.
Which one?
Yeah, the old one with Sean Connery and that whole gang, and David Lean. Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh, that's another one.
That's a long one.
Yeah.
See,
it is.
That's the problem is, and especially if you start in the beginning of the summer.
Because The Sound of Music would be good too, but that's another one.
3.5 hours.
Yeah. I mean, you're strapping in for a
Well, you're right too. In the beginning of the summer, it doesn't get dark till 9, so people are out there till 1 in the morning.
Well, that's what happened with us on our first show. We had The Best Years of Our Lives, which is one of my favorite all-time films, but we got a late start because we had technical problems, and then people started leaving at 12:30 at night, and we still had 30 minutes left of the movie. Because it was just so late.
It's too much. Yeah,
we didn't get home that night until about 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, what if you did like for those times, didn't they do like Three Stooges shorts or something like that? Like something like that. Something that was because a lot of movies were long then.
Yeah, they
told the story
2.5 hours.
Yeah. Now The Quiet Man, that's another one that you should do.
I like The Quiet Man, dude. The Quiet Man's good.
John Wayne?
Did you hear that reaction?
Yeah.
Quiet Man, isn't the
goes
dude,
to Ireland, right?
Yes.
Isn't he's trying an
Mary Kate
Irish
Thornton.
accent?
Who cares? It's
No,
John Wayne.
he's an American going back to his ancestral land.
Yeah.
He's got to get in a fight in an Irish pub, dude.
Oh, it is. It's all through town.
It's everything you want to have happen when John Wayne goes to Ireland happens. Him
and Victor McLaughlin get in this big fight all the way through the village, and everybody's chasing around, cheering him on, and everything. Oh, it's so good.
It's phenomenal. The only thing they're missing are bagpipes, dude.
Yeah, I think there is. No.
No.
Yes, there is. During the horse race, I think they have bagpipes.
Well, then there you go.
It's a great movie.
Braveheart would be another good one if it wasn't so gory.
That would be a good one too. Well, anyway, 6 o'clock Saturday night, Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock, last one of the year. Be there. Colby will be there, right, Colby?
Oh yeah.
You bringing Tay-Tay out?
She's working, but
all right. Colby will be there. You get to meet Colby. Cindy and I will be there. You get to avoid us. And Beth, you're gonna come out with the family. Bring little
bring Ezra to Psycho.
Little 4-year-old Ezra to be.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, well maybe not Ezra, but you come out and it's a little.
I don't know if I'm ready to bring Mark around.
You think Mark will be afraid?
No, just the crowd.
Oh please! You brought him
Guys
around.
It's so ridiculous.
It's not gonna be that big of a crowd.
Could you do? Would you be
maybe
able
100 people?
I've never seen Psycho, so like, would you compare it to like The Shining in the same kind of scary?
No. Shining's like it's different.
Shining is more. There is a difference. I mean, I should be able to say to
The Shining
you,
is psychological too. It's just
Hitchcock versus Stephen King. I mean, they're totally different types.
This is more of a horror suspense drama.
Yeah,
because it's definitely a drama.
Yeah, you don't need. There's no gore.
No,
like The Shining is. There's gore in there. There's
blood coming out of the elevator.
It's
you don't
more
need
of a psychological thriller.
Yes,
it's not ghosts.
Yeah.
It's Colby. I think you'll appreciate the craftsmanship of Psycho by Alfred Hitchcock.
And a great ending.
Yeah,
movies are hard to end, and this has a superb ending.
That's
true. That is the craziest ending.
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like when that happened, can you imagine just being you read about those types of endings now.
Right.
Yeah.
The first time
To
that
see
was
it
shown
in 1960.
Yeah.
had to have been mind-blowing.
And that's the other thing that surprised me about it. It's like, wow, in 1960, like psychology was this advanced that they could.
Did you see the movie Hitch? It's about Alfred Hitchcock making the movie Psycho.
I did see that.
And towards the end, he's outside the theater doors and he's waiting for the screams or and he's got his fist clenched and he goes,
yes.
Yeah.
Because he knows it. He knows the beats of the story so well. He's waiting for audience reaction.
Yeah.
And every time he does his fist, like yes.
Who played him in that movie? Was it Gary Oldman? No, that was
He's
Churchill.
a chameleon, dude.
He is.
Dude, him as Churchill was unbelievable.
Oh, who was it? It was the other guy that's so old now. Who played?
So old now.
No, he played Hannibal Lecter. Wasn't it
Anthony
him?
Hopkins? That's right. Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah. Yeah.
He's good, but you know what's funny about Anthony Hopkins as far as like, I would put him in like the master class of actors, but he's not really a chameleon. He's always Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
but like
that's
he sells it, you know? It's very interesting.
Yeah, you're right.
Because then you do have other actors like Gary Oldman who is an actual chameleon.
Yeah.
Like he'll become whoever he's
playing.
playing.
Did you see him play Churchill?
That was unbelievable.
That's what we were just talking about.
It's unbelievable.
We knew he was going to get the Oscar before he even did the movie.
Well, yeah, because he's just.
We heard,
you don't even
he's
see
gained a lot of
Gary
weight
Oldman
for it.
there.
He's not, yeah.
That's like Daniel
And
Day-Lewis
Daniel
playing
Day-Lewis,
Lincoln.
that's the other one I was gonna
You
say.
know he's going to get it.
Yeah.
Those are people that deserve every million they get.
Daniel Day-Lewis is a cobbler. That's really what he wants to do in life.
In Italy, right?
I don't know where, but I know I had a friend who actually was in Gods and Generals, who was in the in the film, and he did a play with him and in London, and he said that he really hates acting, and that he decided not to do any more plays, and he said the guy was just so brilliant, and then he just decided to quit acting and become a cobbler and a shoemaker.
Yeah.
And that's what he's done his whole life.
Sure. When you're a millionaire, you can make such decisions.
Yeah, he comes out of retirement every 10 years and wins another Oscar.
Yeah.
And goes back to shoemaking.
Just let me get another 20 million and then I'll go back to making shoes that nobody's going to buy.
It comes out of left field just to sock the entire Hollywood industry.
Yeah.
All right, this is mine. I just wanted you guys to remember I was still here. It'd be like if Jordan would have retired and then came back 2 years later to win another championship.
Right.
It's the same.
Just to shove it in your face.
What was his last movie? There Will Be Blood? Was that
No.
No,
Lincoln was his last movie.
Yeah,
wasn't
Lincoln.
it?
I think
Lincoln
it
is
was.
his most recent one, but
Yeah.
There Will Be Blood is also a freaking incredible performance.
Yeah, he's great. This guy's great. And he doesn't do like 2 movies a year. He does whatever.
He does a movie every 10 years, I think.
But
I mean,
they're fantastic.
But no, it just blows my mind.
Even if the movie's not fantastic, he is.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So we'll see you guys all out there on Saturday. I'll be there, and the audience is all going to come out, even if their plans weren't to come to Gettysburg. They're coming now, right, guys?
Just lose your mind if I show up with Ezra.
I think.
Oh, and by the way, it's at it's 15 Seminary Ridge. You cannot miss
Yeah.
it. You'll
Yeah,
see
there's
a
the big
giant
screen.
Just go up to the seminary. You'll
Just
find it.
Seminary Ridge, and it's beautiful. You're right on the ridge, a nice slope on the ridge, and it's just Saturday night. It's going to be gorgeous.
Yeah. That's it. We're going to take a break. Thank you both.
Right.
Thank you, Chris. You coming out to dinner, or are you going home, or what do you do? You look tired.
I am.
Yeah.
I just kind of hit the walls at this afternoon.
All
I fell
right.
asleep in here.
I saw that. Yeah. I was.
Pictures for later.
Huh?
We
You
took
took pictures? Good. All right. Well,
That'll go on that revolving
said
screen.
Yeah.
Use it well
We'll
later.
see you on
Yeah.
Saturday then. Otherwise,
Thank you,
that's it.
Matt.
We're going to come back with the news, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to call in, 717-420-1978. Be right back.
Been craving a Hot Pocket or a bag of popcorn? Now's the time to go and get it. We'll be right back.
Want the freshest cup of coffee in Gettysburg? Then visit Bantam Roasters, formerly 82 Cafe at 82 Steinway Avenue. They roast all of their coffee in-house, and they have a full coffee bar to keep you caffeinated during your trip. Visit them at www.raggededgerc.com for their menu and shipping options for all of their freshly roasted coffee. Use promo code Hancock for 10% off your order in the cafe.
Enjoy historical stories on the History Fix platform. Explore movies, short films, and documentaries. Addressing Gettysburg podcast fans receive an extra $5 off the first year's annual subscription. Sign up at historyfix.com and use promo code Gettysburg. Every subscription includes a 7-day risk-free trial. Escape into history with History Fix.
This episode of Addressing Gettysburg is brought to you in part by me, audiobook narrator Mike Scott. Narrator of Savis Beattie's Bloody Autumn, the Shenandoah Valley Campaign of 1864, and Unlike Anything That Ever Floated, the Monitor and Virginia and the Battle of Hampton Roads. If you are an author or publisher interested in having your titles produced as audiobooks, or even just in learning more about the process, give me a shout. You can find my contact info on my website, MikeScottVoice.com. That's MikeScottVoice.com.
The 1863 civilians of Gettysburg were reluctant witnesses to the Great Battle. Join Ken Rich, the man in the red shirt, for his historic town walking tours. You could book these tours by emailing ken@gettysburgtownhistory.com. That's ken@gettysburgtownhistory.com. And when you're in town, look for the guy in the red shirt. And Civil War Trails. It's the world's largest open-air museum, and they offer over 1,300 sites across 6 states. Drive the Gettysburg campaign turn by turn, paddle to Frederick Douglass's birthplace, or hike to remote earthworks and artillery positions. Visit civilwartrails.org to request a brochure and explore their interactive map. Follow Civil War Trails and create some history of your own.
You're listening to the Addressing Gettysburg podcast with Matt Callery.
When you're dragging ass out of bed, the hair's messed up on your head. You picture the 20th
She's so
man,
quiet. Oh,
and
that's
you're
why.
happy once again. Fight the battle against being slow with Little Brown Top Row.
Thank you. Thank you. Her name is Janelle. Did you know that?
I don't believe anything.
Yeah, you shouldn't believe it. Got an email here I want to read you. I was in Gettysburg recently and picked up a bag of Little Ground Top. While I thoroughly enjoyed the notes of cacao, wildflowers, and toasted sugar, my limited palate was unable to taste the notes of black pepper. However, after brewing an excessive amount of coffee, I found another Little Ground Top experience that I felt I should share with you. Little Ground Top is just as delicious cold as an iced beverage as it is in its hot form. Folks should not hesitate to enjoy this unique coffee experience in its hot or cold version. It's simply delicious. You can get yours at Bantam Roasters at 82 Steinway Avenue or by going to addressinggettysburg.com/cafe and order yourself 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 bags of Little Ground Top. You're going to love it. Colby, what have you got in front of you right there?
Well, I have a little bag of Little Ground Top.
A little bag, a little ground. And can you smell it? Can you
I can smell it. I can smell the cacao.
Does it? You can smell the cacao.
Mm-hmm.
And it smells delicious, doesn't it?
Oh, unbelievable.
I bet you can't wait for tomorrow morning to have your cup of coffee.
I really can't.
Did we get it ground for him? Yeah, we did.
It's ground.
I hope so.
Did we?
Anyway, that's your pay for coming up with a great name.
I'd say that is a good payout.
All right, very good.
I like those royalties.
I'm glad you enjoy it. Little Ground Top, ladies and gentlemen, 82 Steinway Avenue, Bantam Roasters, or addressinggettysburg.com/cafe. Get it now. big band music. All right, maybe this binder isn't a good idea. It's a little hard to maneuver with this binder. Did you know Bethany, Cindy, Jason in the back, Colby, Debbie, 6 questions, Lens? Did you guys know that there are almost 300 audio shows and almost 100 video shows on our Patreon page? Did you know that? No, you didn't. You didn't know that. You've never heard that before. Did you know that several respectable licensed battlefield guides are patrons, but have asked to remain anonymous so as not to ruin their reputations? You didn't know that either. Patreon now allows a 7-day free trial. So if you're not sure that you want to join and help keep this show going, you can do a 7-day free trial, and it's at the 2nd lieutenant level, which means you get all of the audio episodes, all audio versions of everything released in a month. You get that's 4 episodes in a month that you can listen to all 4. Well, it's a 7-day trial, but you can go and listen to whatever. A lot of people like to go back and just look at all the titles of the shows and randomly hit play at whatever piques their interest. You can do whatever the hell you want to do in those 7 days. And then, of course, you're going to say, you know what? I'm joining. You could also join as a free follower, and we do some free posts every now and then, so you can see all that stuff. It is, of course, cheaper to join as a monthly member. It's even cheaper to join as an annual member.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, I misread that. I spelled it wrong. And did you know that 908 out of 909 college sophomores agree that you can't say you're fully prepared for the guide exam without having consumed all of AG's Patreon content? Guys, they're college sophomores, okay? Watch the news. They know everything. They'll tell you, believe me. Trust the science of that poll and trust the college sophomores. You've only lived decades more than they have, so what could you possibly know? You know what I mean? Go to patreon.com/Addressing Gettysburg and join us today, and you will not be sorry you did. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, the studio line costs us money, so use it. Call 717-420-1978 to join the discussion, ask a question, or whatever. Just stop us from wasting money on the damn phone line. Oh, we're back.
This is true that the phone lines are open today. They are open today. You can call in 717-420-1978. Once again, I saw Kathy Hoffman was in the queue before, and she got impatient. She hung up before I got to her. Just as I was about to go to her, I saw her name had gone away. So don't get impatient if you're on the air. I know what I'm doing. I will bleed you in when I feel it is appropriate. Okay. All right. Well, you want to hear a listener email?
Yes.
It says this: Matt, I love your work. I'm late to the party. I've been a Gettysburg groupie since my first trip in 2014. Took the guide test in 2017. Going for it again this year. I live in Washington State, so that's a challenge. But this past summer, I've spent all of July there, and that tradition will continue. I'm listening to your Lost 2 Hours with Ken Rich. I did that walking tour with him in this past July. I loved it. Have you had a chance to tour Neal Avenue with Dean Schultz? Yes, I have. My friend Dustin and I went back in 2018, and we thought he was just going to point us to where it was, and he took us up there and spent 2.5 hours with us telling us everything. We absolutely loved it. We had what we call nerdgasms. I did that last July when I was there. It is absolutely the highlight of my Gettysburg experience, which includes Pickett's Charge with Ed Bars. Anyway, I love what you're doing. I had no idea what a huge Charlie Fennell fan I was until now. Everybody's a Charlie Fennell fan. In fact, Charlie will be on, supposedly, next week.
We'll remind him.
Right? We'll remind him. But he's scheduled to be on next week, and he's going to give advice just like Jason did today. So make sure you check that out. He's great. Cheers. I will likely see you at the test December 7th. I'm not counting on passing. I'll try my best, but there are some people a bit ahead of me in their knowledge, and I don't have a name here, but that was a new patron a couple of weeks ago. Thank you very much for that, and I totally missed the basket because my armrest got in the way. Ladies, hi.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hello.
What an exciting show we've had today, right? Let's go back over memory lane. What have we learned today? Bethany, What have we learned? Grant is a douche, right?
No.
Oh.
He bought us gifts.
He did buy us gifts. Jessie Weedleton makes beautiful stained glass. Captured Colors Glass. Follow her on Instagram. I don't think she has a website. If you follow her on Captured Colors Glass, find her on Instagram. Contact her through there if you want to get one yourself. She does a lot of really cool stuff. Go and look at the pictures she has there. But she did a beautiful job on that. And I only asked her to do it like a couple of weeks ago. So she got a great job. Great job. And Grant better like this. And if he doesn't like it, I don't even want to tell you what I'm going to do.
Nothing.
No. Absolutely nothing. You're absolutely right. Cindy, you and I moved into our house on Tuesday. Did you enjoy it?
Enjoy moving? No.
Yeah. But we enjoy the house.
Yes, we enjoy the house.
The house is crazy.
It is crazy. You don't like it, though. I could tell you don't like it.
No, I do like it.
No.
What?
I don't know.
I don't
There's
think you
so
do.
much drama with Bethany right
Bethany
now.
has been a tremendous help, but she is also really throwing a lot of shade on our house.
I have not. I just
You know,
okay.
like when
She
somebody
walked
walks
in and she goes, okay.
And is like,
oh no, she gave you the out of state aunt. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
I see.
The out-of-state aunt.
I see where the family name is now.
No.
Okay.
I needed some time. So, first of all, you
I'm
asked
from
me to come in and help you move and clean and stuff.
Right.
So I'm also looking at it from that aspect. You got
Sure.
So I have my thinking brain on as well.
Right.
So there's that. And two, the videos and the pictures that you showed me do not do it any justice.
Right.
So my brain.
I don't think you can capture it in
No,
pictures and
it
video
is-
accurately.
It is so
unique.
It is.
Mm-hmm. It is.
It's huge.
It
right.
is. It's
Well,
very-
and that's
it
why we picked it because it's so unique.
Yeah.
It's
it's unlike any other.
What?
Stop it.
What? What am I
Why
doing?
do you do this to me?
He is picking on you today.
They're hardcore.
Okay,
I just want
I'm
you
sorry.
to know, but
Darth Vader.
the thing about that house though that I noticed when I was there is the date is that it is a completely different house between daytime and nighttime.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, daytime, there's so much light.
So much.
And then darkness,
But it's cozy.
there's darkness.
But it's cozy.
It is
in
cozy.
the nighttime.
That's the thing. Well, not so much last night because I fell asleep in a weird position, so I started getting like neck and head and shoulder pains through the middle of the night. But ultimately, though, I immediately I was saying to somebody recently that when I get a new home, like when I move to a new place, it takes me a while to make it to say I'm home.
Mm-hmm.
Like the house that we rented for the past year, it took me
Just
till
last
like
week.
June.
Last
Literally
week he was
till
like,
June to be like,
huh,
this feels like
I
home.
kind of like this place.
And then like a week later, the landlord's like, I'm putting the house on the market on Monday. I'm like, oh, Jesus. So, but this place, like automatically, I slept like a baby the first night. I mean, it helps that we're tired, but like, still, I feel
Not
like I'm at
helping me.
home. No, you didn't.
The kitchen, we sat and ate pizza in that little, they have like a little corner
Kitchen. Nook.
type of thing.
Yeah.
Super cute.
Dude,
It is.
Super
They got like a booth seat, like you would have at a restaurant.
Yeah, it's like breakfast.
It's a breakfast
I like
nook.
it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna put a lot of curtains and stuff in that big windowed room?
Matt wants curtains, you can tell, because the very first thing he did as soon as we said we're getting ready to go was every curtain in the whole place he closed.
Yeah.
I like he couldn't handle.
Well, I'm from New Jersey. I don't want
I was
people
like,
looking in my
we
window.
could tell. We could tell.
We need some to warm it up, like some floor to ceiling ones, just to warm it up, but not.
In
we're
the
not
front
going to
room.
cover
No,
the
we're not doing
entire,
curtains.
You
No,
could
you want
cover
light
all
in
of
that
We're going
place.
to have some curtains. Oh, jeez. Well,
Well, we need curtains where the TV is because those windows are going to put a glare on the television
And
if we're
you
watching
can't
anything.
buy that.
No, you can't.
Buy that.
By the way, Dustin Wise just ordered 2 bags of Little Ground Top during the commercial break.
Well done, Dustin.
Finally, a commercial paid off. Cameron Mallow says 1987 Matawan by John Sayles and Chris Cooper and James Earl Jones.
What?
He's talking about the movies that when we were talking movies before. Yeah. Yeah. David wants to know about the lack of heating in our houses in Romania. So, David, you are on the air now. Please tell me, how cold is it in Romania?
Oh, cold as a witch's tit.
That's my man right there. Coming in hot.
Hey, Grant, how are you? I thought it was David from Romania this time. I can't believe it's you, Grant.
I should be so lucky. No, I'm just from rather nice Australia.
Do you have a cold?
Yeah, what's wrong with you? You drunk?
A bit too much coke last night, I guess.
You've got your voice sounds.
Did your Greek girlfriend break up with you?
No.
Nor.
She's still putting up with me.
Good for her. What's her name again? Tiffany?
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
What's this about?
What about?
The book.
The book.
There's a delay. He can't see it right away.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, the book. Wait, tell us about our gifts.
Well, firstly, with you, Mark, your gift.
Yeah.
Your gift, I just thought after a few cups of Little Ground Top, you might be needing those.
You don't know how close to the truth you really are. All right, and then
we know how full of crap you are, so that's just fitting, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's the Metamucil. And what about Beth's gifts or gift?
Well, I mean, she could learn about these people she's hated for so long. I just thought it would be,
I think we should all pool our money and send Beth there. You know?
Okay.
But not
Sure.
Not to the picturesque resort place.
No, to the part where you get mugged.
Yeah,
let's
let her really experience it.
Like if she's gonna hate Greeks, we got to give her a reason to hate Greeks.
She's gonna have a freaking good reason.
Right.
She's gonna have probably.
Well, we'll send her to where JD went when his cameras got stolen out of his car.
Yeah.
That's where we'll send her.
I
Was that Greece or Italy? Do you know anybody
do
know?
not
I think it was Greece. I
have
Greece.
anything
It was
against
Greece.
Greek people,
Yeah.
but if you want to send me, I have a travel guide.
We are just set.
Yeah.
Did you know that Corfu Town has a variety of dining establishments as well as local and foreign retailers?
Like any.
Well, I would.
I'm just reading it.
So it's like America.
It comes alive after dark and offers
would've
a
thought?
thriving nightlife.
A city in
Like
Greece
a
is like
city.
a city here.
Doesn't
Yeah.
have any
Who knew?
sandy beaches, although it is ideally adjacent to some of the island's breathtaking coastline.
Who knew that a city in Western civilization is like another city in Western civilization?
It has a blend of history, culture, stunning architecture, and lively atmosphere, and offers a delightful
Wait a second,
experience
Greece?
for visitors.
That's where I go for all that
making it
stuff?
a must-visit destination in
Amazing.
Greece. No, Corfu Town.
Have you been
Corfu?
Have you been to Greece, Grant?
I was just going to say, sorry, Matt. I'm amazed how well Bethany reads, considering her education. That's pretty good.
Now we're busting on my education.
Oh my God!
It's a rough night for Bethany.
I'm from
I think it's the
Clarion.
lack of education he's busting on.
I'm from Clarion.
What's happening?
Wasn't
from
the third
Clarion.
grade? Wasn't the third grade her?
Wait, what?
Wasn't the third grade her best 6 years of her life?
It was. It was the best 6 years of my life. All of you love me. I went to Catholic school. We learned how to read there.
That's right.
I'm from Clarion.
Oh, poor Beth.
Yeah, so
Bethany.
I could house that loaf.
Houses and loaves, she usually takes smaller
I usually take smaller bites. Dun dun. Oh my God, my gut hurts.
But when she cracks up, she jokes and snores. How lucky are we to know a broad like Bethany?
It's so triumphant.
All of you love me.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So, Matthew.
Yeah.
The other day asked me what happened when I didn't come over on Tuesday. And I
Right.
said I got home, and told him the story. And he said, that is going in the popular 70s sitcom Bethany.
That's right.
Bethany.
I could house that loaf.
and low. She usually takes
I usually take smaller bites.
I do like the talk through behind the singing is good, dude.
Yeah.
Audio clips of her talk.
Oh, yeah.
It's tasteful.
It's tasteful. All right, so
That wasn't me.
Grant.
That was not me.
Yeah, it was. I just watched you do that.
That is not me.
Oh my gosh.
I would never.
That was
I have
Veronica.
belch
everybody's
in public.
camera pulled up right now. I saw it.
You lie.
That was
Maybe I
Ronnie
do.
Ronstadt, guys. That was not
Maybe I
Beth.
do. Maybe I don't.
Grant, have you been to Greece?
Yes,
You have.
I have not. I haven't had the honor.
He was answering your first.
I know. It's a delay.
Grant.
You've not had the honor, but your girlfriend is from Greece. She doesn't want to go back and visit her mamacita or whatever they call the grandparents.
No, they're all here. They're all. She's second generation, so everyone
okay.
moved here, and but I have one observation to make about.
When did you meet your girlfriend, Grant? How
long?
how long have you been together with Stephanie?
I've known her for 6 years. Been with her for 18 months, 2 years.
And oh, really? And so after a while, like how did you finally get together then? If 6 years you've known her, but only in the last year and a half you've been
Love
together.
grows like a vine.
Who
persistence?
So you
Spoken like a true winner.
I wore her
dude.
down.
You wore her
I
down.
wore her down. Finally.
Right. So you had an eye for her all along, and you had to like wait until she was done dating all the other guys, you know, the good-looking ones, and then finally she was
Four and a half
like,
years later,
she was finally
like,
yeah, the 4.5 years. She, I
Okay.
might as well let the nice guy win, and there you are, right?
And finally, I just got her drunk enough with the roofies and everything, and it was all done.
That's not funny.
We got
don't
dark real quick there.
we don't joke about that. We don't joke about that. Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No.
I forgot who I was talking to.
When
That's right.
when
We
you
don't joke
come in
about
the
that.
spring,
Put that
is
on a
she
t-shirt.
coming with
Holy
you?
hell.
As I recall it emptied my
One of my favorite moments of
I
all
know.
time.
All right, go ahead. You were saying.
I don't remember.
Oh, you were talking
is
about
Steph
Beth.
coming
Is that the host you didn't like as much?
What? Oh, you ass. Grant, you're such a jerk. Oh, yeah. Oh, listen. I've never heard him laugh so hard.
Aww.
Okay.
It's
What?
a little Grant laugh.
What were you going to say about us? This is Grant laughing.
No,
Okay,
it's
that's
the-
him.
We
What were
just
you
had a-
saying? What were you saying?
I don't remember. Oh,
Oh.
is Steph coming with you in March when you come?
Steph isn't real.
Most likely, because she's got a friend in New York that she wants to visit.
This
so,
is such bull.
kill
Steph
two birds with
isn't
one
real, guys. Guys, this is all him. This is him trying to. No, she's not real. Grant has nothing to do but watch the show. Don't you know that? You know what he does.
I'm so desperate. You got me, Matt. It's desperation that makes us watch the show.
That's right, Grant.
He picks up the phone, hears a dial tone. Dials and gets down to his work.
I don't like this camera.
La 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 la. Grant makes fun
I'll
of
change
Matt.
it.
Thank you.
La 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 la. Calls him bald and fast. La 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 la. He tries to
Yeah,
make
I'm
Matt cry, but he never wins. 'Cause Matt's an awesome guy.
Hold on. Go back to that camera angle, Colby.
Oh,
Look at
well,
how
it's just your
wide
back.
I am.
Oh, it's
I
just,
am
no,
like-
it's a wide
It's
angle
just that
lens.
you can't see you.
No.
No. But the problem is that we can't see you. Your beautiful face. Well, that's okay.
All right. All right.
Yeah, I just. Ugh.
Grant, what else you
I
what else
shouldn't wear
you
shirts
got
with
for me,
patterns.
Grant?
That's
Grant,
what
what
it
else
is.
you got? What else is going on?
I had one other observation to make. Seeing I've been making these videos for my Instagram, been going through some of the old shows and everything.
What is your
I've
Instagram
noticed
so
one
people
thing-
can follow you, Grant?
Yeah.
Grant_David.
Grant_David. So your name is Grant David O'Brien
Yes, indeed, sir.
of 2022 Wallaby Way, Aussie, Sydney, Australia.
Basically.
Yes, that's what
You
I
got it
thought.
exactly.
That's right. Okay, go ahead, Grant. I'm sorry. I keep derailing you. I don't mean to do that.
Oh, that's all right. You love to interrupt and talk about yourself, so
Yes.
we get it. But I've been noticing that you said
Grant, your little laugh is so cute.
Adorable. Go ahead, Grant.
I've been noticing that.
Grant, what's your favorite holiday?
Quit being a jerk.
No, I'm just teasing you. Go ahead, Grant. What do you got? What do you got for me?
Just some weird things I was noticing about when anyone would mention, you would talk about your age on there. I mean, going back years of the show.
Yes.
And is it what? How are you? Did you just get to an age in your life and then just say you're that age permanently? Like, it seems to be that you haven't aged since 2019.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ. I was watching an old video and I was
you were
like,
1974 and then 1976, and then it just creeps up.
no, it's what it is, Grant. It's like when they show the pictures of the president of the United States when he starts the job and then when he leaves office, like that's what it is. I was watching. It was one of your stupid videos, and you pulled a clip from like the old days, and most of my beard was still reddish brown with just touches of gray. And I was thinner and still bald.
Now you're full Santa.
Now I don't think I need stuffing this year, to be honest with you.
You're so full
Shut
of crap.
your face. Good, that's another one for the board.
Did he
Come on.
just say that to me?
I did say it.
He said it. I heard it.
I'm looking at. Is this Grant here? Is this Grant? I don't have Instagram.
Bethany.
I could house that loaf.
Houses and loaves, she usually takes
I usually take smaller bites.
Dun, dun. Oh my God, my gut hurts.
But when she
Grant is, a lot of people would describe him as mousy.
No.
Yes, right, Grant?
Faint of heart.
Grant, when you
of
were
course,
when you
nailed
were
it perfectly as always.
when you were a young kid, you had horrendous buck teeth, did you not?
Yes, I looked much like you.
I never had buck teeth. I had very straight teeth actually. The orthodontist said though you have an overbite and your bottom teeth are going to rub against your gums. We have to give you braces. A likely story, I said to him. So
what
I never had
to your nose. When did that get bashed in?
my nose. It got busted in. Well, I was in a. No, it's not funny. It was an actual.
Sorry.
It was broken in a terrible car accident. I was the only survivor. I just came out with a broken nose. So I was very lucky, and thank you for laughing at the death of my friends.
You're on here a lot.
I'm on
Grant,
here.
she's just discovering your Instagram. So
Yeah, I've never seen it before.
yeah.
That's not him.
No, her videos of her.
That is me in the picture. Yes.
It is you in the picture?
He said this
With the
one,
sunglasses,
but,
yeah.
but not the YouTube,
With
right?
the sunglasses. That's not you. That guy's way too good looking. That's not you.
But
Sorry.
I've got one. Just to let you move on with the show, I've got one
Please.
joke, and then I'll go. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Do you know what an echidna is? It's an animal that we have here.
What is it called? Nicole Kidman?
An echidna.
An echidna.
Ah, yes. And
it has
Akita.
all little spikes around it. It has
Sure.
all these little spikes.
Of course
down
it does. Australia is so weird.
Everything has spikes.
Spikes,
Okay, so-
poison.
Venom. Yeah.
Go, Grant!
Okay. What's the difference between an echidna and Matt driving in his car?
What?
With Matt, the prick's on the inside.
And now, all the news that's fit to print and a good deal that's not. Here's AG Today's lead anchor, Bethany Hileman, with current events and sidewalk conditions.
Gettysburg budget season begins with news that the
wait, I
financial
gotta
boost
read.
given to the borough is drying up.
National Park law enforcement reunites a security stuffy with a little girl.
And finally, a car crashes into a building, but this time in Littlestown.
Oh man, Gettysburg police warn about local parking scams. All this and more in today's news.
I hadn't yet decided what two I was doing.
Cameron's
so,
very worried
I
about
know.
the parking scams there. Nothing.
Oh.
All right. What have you got, girls?
Okay.
Go ahead, Sin.
All right, so we'll start with the first one there. So Gettysburg budget season begins. So the borough had received $3.1 million from the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. And there is only $716,000 remaining of that $3.1 million. So because the borough has been using the money to cover revenue shortfalls in its annual budgets. So, we're going to have to have some uncomfortable conversations, is what Gable is telling council. That's Borough Manager Charles Gable. A draft of the 2025 budget Gable presented to the council has a deficit of $976,349. Gable reminded the council that the draft is far from the final product and council will need to discuss its wishes during upcoming budget workshops. The biggest drivers of the deficit are a 19% increase in health insurance costs, which, that's like a big...
Wait, no, you're right.
The mayor was there.
What's right?
No, the health insurance is going up 19%. That's a huge
Good thing
jump.
that you can listen while you're not listening.
That's right.
All right. So 2 additional police officers that cost $124,880 each.
Wait, how much?
Wow.
A proposed additional public works employee at a cost of $92,929 and debt service cost of $650,000. The Borough Council will discuss its budget on October 21st, 28th, November 4th, and November 5th. All meetings will begin at 7 p.m. in the Borough Council chambers on East High Street.
Oh, wow.
But there is some good news.
Oh.
I didn't read this yet, but visitors are helping to fund, yes, I did read it, Gettysburg Borough's operations in historically significant ways. So in 2019, the lodging tax, which they also call the pillow tax, anybody who's heard of that?
Of course.
It added $159,693 to the borough's coffers. So that was in 2019. Of course, the pandemic.
How many people are actually coughing for the borough?
I don't know. A lot to make up that much. During the pandemic, of course, the amount plummeted to $75,000. What is the face for?
It was going to the borough's coffers, and I said, how many people are coughing for the borough?
I said I only cough for the nurse.
So the amount plummeted to $75,245 in 2020, of course, as that would be expected. But the borough earned $182,298 from the lodging tax in 2023.
That's Colby coughing for the
which
nurse.
was more than even in 2019. Gable said the borough is expected to receive even more money in 2024 based on year-to-date tax collections. So hopefully they get some money to help make up that deficit.
I hope so. I really, really hope so.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I'll lead you into your next story if you wanted to read one. Similarly, the borough is collecting more money each year from parking revenues. In 2019, it earned $1.198 million from parking. Collections dipped to $744,805 in 2020, but 2023 closed with the borough realizing $1.468 million in parking revenue. Gable expects 2024 collections to surpass the 2023 total. Well, of course, because we just keep adding parking that you have to pay for.
That has to
be. I expect to rob you even more in the next year.
Okay, so speaking of parking, the Gettysburg police issued a warning about parking payment scams. Apparently, this is for within the borough, but it seems that it's kind of around, not just in the borough.
Mm-hmm.
We use the pay by phone app
Yes.
to pay for at the parking meters. I guess there are people who are just searching pay by phone, and the search returns several websites. These websites are run by scammers, and drivers may choose the wrong one. Police said the pay by phone is aware of the issue, and unfortunately, as soon as a scammer site is removed, another one is posted, as they always are. To avoid being scammed, download the app, which is what all of us here in Gettysburg should probably already have on our phone.
Right.
The correct website is paybyphone, allsmooshedup.com.
Allsmooshedup.com?
All smooshed up. It's also printed on the parking meters.
Paybyphone, allsmooshedup.com.
Yep. So it's actually, once you're in the app, it's pretty simple because it kind of geolocates you so that you can, it kind of says, is this kind of where you are? And you can choose one.
It would be really helpful if there was just one pay for parking app.
In the whole world.
In the world.
Yeah.
Because having multiple parking apps is ridiculous. That's just me. Personally
yes.
speaking.
Yes.
No, he Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Okay, go ahead.
So, man pleads guilty to videoing minors.
Whoa. Real dark, real fast.
A Littlestown man accused of videoing 2 minors in a restroom and indecently assaulting a child entered a guilty plea on Monday in Adams County Court. Douglas Seitz, 58, pleaded guilty to...
What's the name?
Douglas Seitz.
Uh-huh.
Pleaded guilty to recording a child sex act, a second-degree felony, and indecent assault of a person under 13 years old. I apologize. I can't read today, apparently.
Possible information.
A third-degree felony. How is that a third-degree felony?
I don't know.
In 2 separate cases.
Sorry, I meant to hit
The pleas were negotiated through an agreement which called for an aggregate sentence of 2 to 5 years in a state correctional institution, according to court officials. Seitz participated in the proceeding Monday via video.
Who did?
Seitz.
Uh-huh.
From the Adams County Adult Correctional Complex. Seitz must register as a sex offender under the Sex Offender Registration and Notification Act for the rest of his life, according to the Adams County Assistant District Attorney Christian Swager, who handled the case on behalf of District Attorney Kyle Reuter. Seitz must also undergo an evaluation by the Pennsylvania Sexual Offenders Assessment Board to see if he meets the criteria to be classified as a sexually violent
I would
predator.
say yes.
I would too. Which is has extra reporting requirements. After Swager described the facts of the case, the judge, which was Judge Sean Wagner, questioned how videoing minors in a restroom would be considered a sexual act.
What?
Adams
Wait,
County.
all of us together.
no
1, 2,
way.
3. What?
Wait, there's no way that's what that
Here,
judge is.
This is what it says. After Swager described the facts of the case, Adams County Court of Common Pleas Judge Sean Wagner questioned how videoing minors in a restroom would be considered a sexual act. Adams County Assistant Public Defender Joshua Niederheiser, who represented Seitz, said the videos were used for sexual gratification and mentioned another incident of the defendant allegedly filming a juvenile sister on a roller coaster showing oh dear God. I'm not going to finish.
Don't finish.
But it's basically, the problem that I have with a lot of this stuff is always what they get. It's never enough.
No.
And I just don't
and then
understand
they come out and
how
do it again.
Because they give these deals to these people in these specific situations, and I just don't understand it. I never will. So anyway, his sentencing hearing is set for February 13th at 8:30 a.m. So hopefully he is in the correctional facility now. Hopefully he stays there until February 13th during his hearing and he doesn't get out sooner.
Who?
Seitz.
Yes. Okay. Bethany, what have you got?
I'm going to make it, I'm going to take that horribleness and I'm going to flip it on its head and I'm going to do a heartwarming story.
Oh, very nice. Wow.
Yes.
Who knew?
So if any of you were looking at the parks, that Gettysburg National Military Parks, Facebook, they shared a post that somebody had posted for them.
This is nice.
That I guess there was a family out at Devil's Den and their little girl has kind of like a security stuffy, she has sensory issues. And so she left the bunny.
It's not the one I was looking for.
Pause the story. Hold on.
Sorry, let me get something scary.
Or it's a kitty.
3, 2, 1, action.
Right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
She left the kitty at Devil's Den, and they called. The family realized it, and she was devastated. And the family realized it and called law enforcement, and they went out looking for it, and couldn't find it to start because it was dark, so that you weren't allowed out or they would have gone out themselves to get it.
Sure.
And
another reason we should change the hours to 10 o'clock.
And so law enforcement went out again and actually found the stuffy, whose name is Bumpy Kitty.
Oh,
Bumpy Kitty.
Bumpy Kitty.
I love the names that kids give to their stuffies.
Yes.
Yep. So they used a family photo that had been taken at the park. They were able to determine where Bumpy Kitty may have been left behind. And they were just basically calling out the law enforcement at the park, saying about how they went above and beyond for their daughter, exceeding all expectations and acting with true selflessness. That we are so extremely thankful for his actions and will never forget this experience.
That is very. Let us give a round of applause to our law enforcement officers here
Park Ranger
today.
Joe.
Park Ranger Joe. Thank you, Joe. That was very nice.
What is a stuffy?
None of your business.
A stuffed animal. He doesn't have kids.
No.
Kids
He
down
hates
south,
kids.
The kids down south don't call them stuffies, though.
What do they call them? Girlfriends?
They usually call them, like, they usually call, like, I don't know, like they'll have a name for it, or it's like a teddy bear.
Well, she calls it Bumpy Kitty,
It's
but
Bumpy Kitty.
you're not going to know what Bumpy Kitty is. Like, my daughter had one very original name, Teddy.
Teddy.
It was a teddy bear.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a Goofy doll. I named him Goofy.
That works.
I mean, that's the
I had a
character's
teddy bear
name.
named Teddy, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I love the park.
The swell. So well done.
The park posted
Drown them out.
the original story from the family on their social media.
I saw that.
And they wrote the caption was, "Because it's what we do." It was cute. And then some of the people had responded, "What a wonderful story, and park rangers are literally the best humans, period." Go ahead. It's the look you're giving me right now that makes the best part of this.
Please steal. All right, what else you got?
The Antietam School District gets $2.5 million grant for new Stony Creek Elementary School.
Really? Wow.
A flood-ravaged school district
Oh.
is getting a big boost from the state as it continues to rebuild. The state has awarded the Antietam School District $2.5 million to build a permanent Stony Creek Elementary School. The school will be built where there are currently modular classrooms in lower, is it Alsace?
Totally modular, dude.
Township, not far from the district's former middle senior high school. The funding was provided by the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development. Stony Creek Elementary hasn't been in use since it was damaged by flooding in July of 2023. And I gotta say, my kids had gone to a charter school for kindergarten through 5th grade, and most of their buildings were modular. What a nightmare.
Yes.
So good on them. I'm glad that they got the grant to get the school built how it should be built. So happy for those kids.
Marie, I contacted him after talking to you the other day about the code, but I have not heard back yet. But I'll follow up. I've also been moving for the last week, so I haven't really followed up on it, but I will now that you've reminded me. All right, what else you got?
Okay, the Gettysburg School District and the Teachers Union have okayed a new contract with 3.9% raises over 4 years. So, the contract was approved by the district board 7-1 during their Monday, October 21st meeting following approval from union membership back in August. There was one lone vote against the contract's approval. That board member had questioned the privacy of contracts. It was expressed that the contract negotiations are private until approved due to the sensitivity of negotiations. So she was raising a flag because it was
supposed to be
talked
private.
about.
Wait, why is a job that is paid for with public money private when you're negotiating?
Well,
I mean, shouldn't it all be public?
I don't know. I don't know the
I
answer
do.
to that question.
I've decided it should all be public. You're using public money.
Okay.
I will say, though, like 3.9% over 4 years is nothing.
No.
I think
Yeah.
a cost of living increase right now is like 2.4 or something like that. So for 1 year would be normal.
That's
So
actually
3.9
pretty
is
paltry
pretty
for
low.
them. Yeah.
Well, the
Sorry,
highlights
guys.
of the new contract, according to the release, include an average of 3.9% salary increase on the first year, an average of 3.95 in the second, and an
Okay,
average
so
of
that's not what they
3.9
mean
in the
then.
third and
So they
fourth
don't mean
year.
a total of 3.9.
No, they
mean a total of, well, over 10 or around 10.
Well,
No, if it's
more
over
like
4
12.
years, it's like 12%.
12%.
So I take
It's
that
12%.
back.
Yeah. Oh, that's
The
better than
contract-
what
Take
we
that back.
get.
The
So I'm not
contract-
sorry, guys.
The contract also adds a doctorate column to the salary schedule, which previously did not benefit educators who earned their doctorates. According to the union, members agreed to several compromises, including the removal of athletics from the contract, which I don't really know what that means. I guess being paid to be an athletic coach?
They're
I'm
just
not
removing
sure.
athletics because they want everybody to get fat.
Increases to healthcare costs and removing members' spouses from the district's healthcare plan. That's a big
That
thing.
is a big thing.
Yeah.
So that got approved?
Yeah.
Through the union?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Spouses who do remain on the plan will also see an increased cost.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's happening in the school district now.
Well, there was some other business too during the council meeting. So with the big budget decisions ahead of them, the Borough Council was fortunate to breeze through its routine business approvals with little discussion and no contention. The elected body unanimously voted to set a public hearing for 6:30 p.m. on October 28th to receive public comments on a requested transfer of a restaurant liquor license to 517 Baltimore Street, Gettysburg. The property is currently the site of Conoco gas station and convenience store. Borough Planning Director John Whitmore said he had no further information on what the applicant, Ravi Singh, planned to do with the property. So they set a public hearing so that they could potentially transfer a liquor license to that convenience store. They also approved free parking during holiday season and Monday through Thursday for the following areas: Lincoln Square and the first blocks of Carlisle, York, Baltimore, and Chambersburg Street and Steinway Avenue. They also established a metered parking space at or near 334 and 336 Baltimore Street that can be used exclusively by persons with disabilities.
So I don't know when, but maybe next week, maybe who knows? Whenever we can actually set it up. I was contacted by a friend, Nancy Goodmestad, today about doing a show. Getting the word out. Now we've talked about this on the news before with the that building, that apartment building that they're looking to build over
near the train station.
Near the train station.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently there's this movement which is against it, obviously, and it's the closing the barn door after the horse gets out. I think it sounds like it's kind of a done deal already, but it's kind of and they're going to come on and we're going to talk. It'll be like a Address to Gettysburg Today exclusive special, whatever, to let people know, because they have a petition they want people to sign. There's kind of some shady dealings, and then if you go back into it somehow is tied into Penn State, not the college, but the area. I don't know. There's a connection and stuff. And so we're going to have a show about that. And I'll give equal time to whoever from the borough wants to come on and defend it against this. But it doesn't sound very good. And it also sounds like it's going to be a friggin' nightmare logistically to get around the north end of town. And I feel bad for anybody who lives on Stratton Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's going to ruin it.
I wouldn't think there's enough municipal services there to have something that huge built right there.
Yeah, it's really something that the people who are courting it and welcoming it here in the borough really should have been protecting us against. But, the almighty dollar. I'm very curious to know what the rest of the story. I don't know
enough about it.
Enough to really tell you, but from what could be interesting.
Hey, Debbie, can you get me more water because you love me?
Oh, here, I have some in here if you want.
No.
Oh, wow. I mean, god dang, dude.
Wow, Colby, did you hear that?
No, you've been making fun of me all night. I love you, thank you.
Oh, Pa.
He'd still drink after you.
Please.
Nope.
He'd still drink after you.
Nope.
Stop that.
So this is an article.
All right, go ahead.
So this is not meant to be in any way, shape, or form a political statement.
Okay, no political statements from Bethany.
I am just reading a news article. Thank you. Love you. Okay. Gettysburg College admissions counselor unleashes a rant against Trump supporters on her social media.
Now, this is an admissions counselor.
Yes. She recently shared a social media post condemning supporters of former President Donald Trump, calling them pieces of SHIT, as seen from a screenshot obtained by Campus Reform.
Wow. Wow. Does she not see the...
She posted an Instagram story in September that stated that not all Trump supporters are xenophobic, but they all decided that xenophobia wasn't a deal breaker. The post continues in the same format, stating that all Trump supporters believe that other things, including homophobia, misogyny, rape, and overthrowing democracy, are not deal breakers for Trump supporters.
I mean, I like how they just throw rape in there. You know, like,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay with that.
I don't know how to pronounce her name, and I'm so sorry.
It's Lupe.
Lupe Lazaro. Graduated from Gettysburg College in 2024 with a major in psychology.
So she just
graduated.
Hold on. She just graduated. This is her first job. And
Yes.
Well, it was her first job.
Yeah.
I'm only laughing because you know, we really need better mental health care in this country. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. So now this particular article doesn't say what's going to happen or if she is going to have any.
Oh, she's not there anymore.
Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
But it doesn't say. I never read whether she quit or whether she was fired.
The way that it was written in the article that I read was that she was terminated. Now it didn't say it in those words, but it wasn't that she.
It wasn't voluntary.
Not from how it sounded. Again, I can't say that as fact, but from how they made it sound.
Now, I am not a news professional, and I want to point that out.
What?
I'm not. And I'm going to show you why I'm not a news professional.
All right.
This is what I'm reading from.
Well, that doesn't.
Well, no wonder you couldn't read the name.
That doesn't
I
mean.
couldn't read the name. It's under the area where it's
just blank.
Bethany. Yeah, I could house that loaf.
I kind of want to hear it from the beginning with the
I usually take
creepy
smaller
girl.
bites. Dun, dun. Oh my god, my gut hurts.
But when she cracks up, she jokes and snarks. How lucky are we to know a broad like Bethany?
all of you love me.
Okay.
I love that declarative statement at the end. So, stop
Okay,
it.
I'm sorry.
So, I just want to point out this as future use for people who are in the job market, especially in education and especially in public jobs. You have to be very aware of what you post on your own social
Really
media.
anywhere, because a lot of jobs now, they check your Facebook or public social media posts prior to hiring you.
Yeah.
And you would hate to lose out on a job you really want just because you posted something in the heat of the moment when you were upset.
Yeah. And so it's probably just best to do what I do and not post on social.
Right. I have Facebook, like a personal Facebook account, and I never post anything on it. Yeah. First of all, I don't always know what I think about anything. And I've learned that when you're certain about something, you're the biggest fool on the planet. So I don't know anything. And I know a lot of other people will go, what do you mean you don't know anything? I know. It's like, no, you don't. You don't know anything. And if you use logic and you think about things, you'll find that, what's her name? Lupe and her counterpart on the other side are cut from the same mentally ill cloth. And some people have had it forced on them. Like, in other words, Lupe has been in this institutionalized insanity since she was in starting school, right? This is what they're taught. And then the people on the other side, I don't even know what the hell where they're getting their stuff from, but like there's mental illness everywhere. It's everywhere now. And it's encouraged, and it's also allowed to vote. And that's why we have the country we have. You asked for it, America. You should have left the institutions open, the asylums open back in the 70s, but Geraldo got you to close them.
I do think that there is something to be said about the fact that people forget, because it's so easy to post something on social, that other people other than your mom and dad and your friends are seeing it.
Yes.
And that's what scares me, is because like I think I've told you this story before, but like I had a friend of mine who was in the military, and she had her kid, like this is the beginnings of Facebook, and she wanted to post the pictures to be able to get them to her husband overseas.
Yeah.
Okay. And somebody with nefarious, ideas took that picture of her kid and was using, like, she went to a Walmart, and that picture of her child was on the missing child thing.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to scam people into
Right.
giving money.
Oh, jeez.
And then she went through court, did all that kind of stuff. And then years later, a family member of hers was in a restaurant, and the March of Dimes thing, or where you put the quarters in.
Yeah.
That's like usually up at a checkout counter.
Right.
Her son's picture was on one of those. So you have to be so aware of what you're doing. Like I am so weird about.
I will say that
I don't like people putting their kids out on Facebook.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I think, like, in this particular instance, and in instances like this particular instance, they know. I'm speaking about this time of Lupe posting that. It's not that she forgot that people weren't going to see it.
No.
So I think that there is a vast majority of people out there who are intending.
What's sad to me is
to see it.
that the people that put those thoughts in Lupe's head know they're not true. Lupe, though, is too young and inexperienced to know that they're not true.
Well,
and she believes them, but she also doesn't have, she's not equipped with critical thinking, because if that were all true, she wouldn't be able to just walk around every day.
I do want to say, though, if this is her first job, there has to be a piece of paper that she signed. I feel I signed it, that knowing that you're...
Did you
There's like
read
a
it?
digital... Huh?
Mm-hmm. Did you read it?
Uh-huh.
You're one of the very few who actually reads what they sign when they sign up for a job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That your social media is going to be looked at. It
Yeah.
is a representation of the organization in which you work.
Yeah.
99.5% of people, they'll just sign the employee handbook and not even ever glance through it. And then be shocked to find out.
Do government employees, like federal employees, do they have to do that too?
What?
Well, I mean, like for example, like sign something that says that you're gonna, watch what you say on social media and all that stuff, or are you kind of protected as a government employee?
Federal employees?
Federal
I honestly
employees.
don't know. I mean,
well, if they did, no.
Don't, because some of the things I've seen are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like in the military, you're a federal employee technically in the military,
Right.
And they definitely hold you accountable to that stuff.
Well, but you're also in the military.
Yeah, but
It's still federal
government.
Yeah, but I'm saying like there's that extra level of like honor and the reputation of the branch that you're in, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
you don't want to bring. Yeah, you don't.
It's not just the federal government; it's also the Marine Corps. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like, are you specifically referring to the Park Service?
I'm specifically referring to someone. I'm not going to say who, but I've seen some pretty insane things, and
maybe it has to do with like where you work, like whether it's the Park Service or whatever. For example, the
I don't
Social
doubt
Security Administration. No, you can post what you want. Apparently.
Really?
I don't doubt that at all.
Oh,
I don't
know. I don't know, but all I can say is I am so sick of this whole election and our whole political system, and I can't wait until it's over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just end it.
I get so
it's
many
never
text
over. I know
messages.
that's so
At least
so
you
annoying.
get a slight break after the election.
No, but not this
then
one.
You're into midterms.
No,
it's
I
just
know.
like one thing after another after another.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's really getting on my nerves.
Ice pick headache.
A what?
Ice pick headache.
What is that?
She had really cold water.
Oh, like a head rush.
No. It's like whenever you ever get a headache when like it feels like somebody went. Wah,
Oh
and then-
yeah, all the time.
But then it goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. What's next?
Go ahead.
So the Gettysburg Olive Oil Company building was hit in Littlestown on, I believe it was.
Wait, what do you mean it was
Sunday
hit? Like it was robbed?
A car.
A car hit it.
What?
Crashed. A car crashed into a building.
That's the 30th one this year.
I think it might be the first. It's
Yeah, it
been a
is.
good long time.
Yeah, it has.
Just driving along without a care. Next thing you know, a building is right there.
Zaba zabawa. The Temptations, man. They predicted this one day that we would have this problem here in Gettysburg.
So there really weren't any details that were posted, but the Gettysburg Olive Oil Company did post on Facebook some photos. The store was hit by a car last night. This was posted on Monday. Please pray for the driver and the owner of the other car that also hit my store. Okay, so they must have crashed into a car that crashed into the building. They will be open Thursday, so they opened back up today. So can we count that as two? So thanks to
I
their
think
great
so.
landlord, they are calling out Ken and Michael, who own that building in Littlestown, because they got the building fixed enough for them to reopen today. So they were only closed for a few days, losing business. So
Grant says, wow, didn't expect Bethany to take sides like that. I don't know what side you took. He says, those are some terrible statements Beth is making. Oh, gotcha. Okay, that's funny.
Grant.
You know what, Grant? Sometimes it's
words
okay
like
to
that.
just be normal. Peter Zach says, Matt, bingo. I've never seen many nuts, or I think he means so many nuts rolling around. Marie says, Bethany is one classy broad. Peter Zach says it's 99% of our problems. Grant says, even if you dislike Greeks, you just don't post about it. Okay. And Jean says, I have a photo of my late sister being goofy, and I don't dare share it on Facebook with family for fear it will grow legs and be used as a meme. There you go.
Yeah.
Who teaches driving there? Yeah, I don't know, Grant.
Car crashed into a building.
The football coaches. That's
The football coaches must. But you know, I forgot what I was going to say now. Go
my
ahead.
turn.
Your turn.
Although I'm going to do most of this based off of what I know from working there, because again, my printer.
here.
The Gettysburg Foundation is recognized with the Pennsylvania Governor's Award for Safety Excellence. So we have a safety committee. Our own Jamie Elmstad is part of the safety committee. That's run by VP of Facilities Brian Schaefer, and they meet once a week. And they decided this award thing was out there. I don't know if we were nominated, or I don't know. But anyway, there was a need they were going to do this is what Brian said at a meeting recently, is that they were supposed to do a Zoom call with the people from the state to go over the questions and how we do things.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of doing the Zoom call, the safety committee team took it upon themselves to make a video of what we do and how we deal with safety within the visitor center and things like that.
Now, by safety, what are they talking? Like, you put like one of those piso mojado signs on the floor when you mop?
Oh, the wet floor signs.
Yeah,
yes.
or wet floor if you need to speak in English.
Yeah,
I prefer to be, multilingual, and I say piso mojado.
Oh, damn it! I was gonna try to get through this one without snorting.
You snorted?
I did.
Thank you. I'll mark that.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Okay. So anyway, they did a video which was really cute and talked about all the safety within the building and how we have, we do monthly safety checks and all these things that in order to keep the building safe and I'm from Clarion, all that kind of stuff. And so we were I guess I should say the Gettysburg Foundation was recognized at the 98th at the Governor's Occupational Safety and Health 98th Annual Conference Luncheon. So we got the Governor's Award for Safety Excellence. The leaders of the areas of facilities management, custodial services, and security, all involved with implementing strategic safety initiatives, attended the conference and luncheon on behalf of the foundation.
That's actually really nice.
It is.
The Pennsylvania
Colby shouldn't be making light of this.
Department of Labor and Industry commended the Gettysburg Foundation for its efforts to protect workers and prevent workplace injuries and illnesses. We have signs up inside the building, like on the lower level, that say "Don't become a Gettysburg casualty."
Oh, that's clever.
Another Gettysburg.
Well, it's funny because when I read this, I was like, and even with Bethany working there, they still managed, because there's something in there, isn't there, about 0 accidents since.
Wow. We haven't had, we've been doing really well. Now, more people are dying in horrible ways in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. I wonder if that was specific to the visitor center or if it's at all locations. Because I don't work in the visitor center. I work at the Rupp House.
That's funny.
Yeah. The Safety Excellence Review Committee was impressed with the implementation of a well-labeled evacuation route for employees separate from public evacuation routes, as well as the collaboration and cooperation among the Foundation's entities in establishing a strong, proactive safety culture that has sustained a 0 incident rate for more than 3 years.
See? 0
Had them pulled and hurt my neck.
And I went, wow, even with Bethany.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing.
Listen. I think this is just at the visitor center. I don't think it has anything to do with Rupp House. I don't know. But have I had a incident report filled out for me recently? No.
When was the last time you did?
Last month.
So here's what
I
it
was
says,
pregnant.
though. It says the Gettysburg Foundation Safety Committee conducts scheduled on-site reviews, strategically implements safety protocols, and meets monthly to discuss, right? And it says, as well as its venues open to the public, the park,
that would be you.
Then Visitor Center, George Spangler Farm, Children of Gettysburg at the historic Rupp House. So
that's the first
But
level.
that's what's open to the public. They're not talking about the office.
I don't have the
She's in the office.
Upstairs.
They were thinking.
Yep.
They were thinking.
If
Put
we
Bethany
include
up
the
there.
offices, we're screwed.
Yeah, if we include
put Bethany up
Bethany's
there
on the second
Yeah.
floor. No, the last time I had an incident report filled out, I was pregnant.
And what happened? You fell down the stairs pregnant?
I slid down the stairs.
God,
You did?
That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
That is scary.
Mm-hmm.
But it explains a lot.
About Ezra?
Yeah.
I also power washed the Rupp House while pregnant.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Did you just
The outside of the
want to,
Rupp
or
House.
Or they ask you to?
Yeah, that's a good question. Did they ask you to, or did you do it yourself?
No. I asked
Wait,
if
you
somebody
shouldn't-
would do
okay.
it, and I needed it done by a certain time because we had an event, and they didn't have time to come over, so I did it myself.
So
Good.
do it yourself, or
Yeah.
it doesn't get done.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's true. You want it done right, gotta do it yourself.
Well, I always feel bad because we have 6 people on maintenance, and we have all these buildings. And we have people like me who are constantly breaking.
Yeah, that's a lot of ground for a very few people to cover.
Yes.
Yeah. So you got to kind of have to do it yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And poor the guy who's in charge of custodial. I won't mention his name because I don't know how I would feel about that. But he is a doll, and he spends 95% of his time dealing with my stupid phone calls. I think that's
Really?
honest to God, probably 95% of his day.
That's terrible.
Me calling, going, is this supposed to be doing this? There's a sound coming from my closet.
That's another one for the board. All right, what else you got, girls?
So just really quick, the Gettysburg National Military Park did just post on Facebook earlier today. It is quite late. So a couple hours ago, due to a water line rupture, the David Wills house will be closed for the foreseeable future.
Oh, no.
We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause.
No.
Please visit our David Wills house webpage for more information and a 3D tour of the house. I did visit it. It doesn't say anything else except what is said there.
Do you know what happened?
No. Oh, I don't.
I know what happened.
What happened?
A car crashed into a building. That's the third and one this year.
Oh, jeez.
You don't like Slice and the Family Stone? Go ahead.
That's not good because, of course, Remembrance Day is coming up, and they usually have the house open.
Oh, yeah,
that's
and Lincoln
too bad.
slept there. Well, okay, they'll get it fixed before then.
Now I have events.
Yeah, we need to get to events, so let's go.
Yeah, because we need to get to dinner.
This weekend is National First Responders Day is
Hold
over
on a
this
sec.
weekend.
Hold on, but it is 8:30, right? Yeah. All right. Well, where can we eat? The diner out by the Wyndham. They're up until 10. We'll try that. Okay. All right. Everybody, we're okay.
If
we're
you are
okay.
a first responder, just be aware that this weekend there's a couple places. Well, there's probably a lot more than a couple, but only a couple are listed online that you can get probably discounts or free admission as a first responder. So just be aware.
All right.
Very nice. Country Line Dancing with Lars and Dana is this Friday, so tomorrow, October 25th at 6 p.m. at the Barn Resort. Line and partner dancing, country music, and lessons. Join us for a free night of food, fun, and cocktails and boots.
That sounds fun.
Yeah,
Huh?
they've been branching out, doing a lot there.
And that's where is that? When
at
is
the
that?
Barn Resort.
Okay. Very good.
The 63rd Annual 10,000 Villages Gift Festival and Rug Sale, formerly known as the International Gift Festival, will once again be held at the YWCA in Gettysburg and Adams County on Fairfield Road on November 2nd and 3rd from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., I do believe.
Gotta get a new printer.
And 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
almighty.
and 10 a.m. to
Good luck,
5
folks.
p.m.
You know what's not winning awards from the governor? Your office supplies.
You have no idea. I have another one about the Gettysburg Orphanage is doing a program about the history of Pennsylvania witches.
Gettysburg
Orphanage.
Orphanage.
But I don't know when or where because it's cut off.
Oh, dear.
Jesus.
All
I'm
right,
the
Battlefield Harley Davidson's Halloween Bash, Saddlebags and Sweets is this Saturday, October 26th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 21 Cavalry Field Road. Mark your calendars for this annual favorite. This year's Halloween Bash is the 26th. We've again partnered with Hogs and Heroes Foundation, Inc., PA3, to bring you a scary good time filled with delicious food, awesome vendors, and Matt Jameson playing from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Be sure to enter our irresistible costume contest, where we'll be awarding a $200 Harley-Davidson gift card for first place, $150 gift card for second place, and a $100 gift card for third place. We'll also have saddlebags and sweets, a Chinese auction, 50/50 raffles, and so much more.
My goodness.
New this year, they will be hosting the Central Florida Motorcycle Drill Team. There will be performances throughout the day as they show off their daring motorcycle maneuvers.
Here's a little Matt Jameson for you. That's
you
not
done?
really
I'm
him.
done
That's American
because
Legion.
all of my
So-
stuff is cut off by
All
the
right.
printer.
Adams County Farmers Market Vendor Appreciation Day 2024, which is the last day of market season, is this Saturday.
Oh my gosh. The end of the season.
Already the end of the season. October 26th is upon us. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Our wonderful cast of vendors do a lot of work to ensure we have a vibrant farmers market filled with great products and delicious locally produced foods. The last day of the farmers market season is Vendor Appreciation Day, your chance to show your favorite farmers market vendors how much you value their efforts. During this special event, we encourage customers to consider doing the following: say thanks as you shop, bring a special gift that your favorite vendors would enjoy, or tell your friends and family about your favorite vendors. So pass the word along. Hit them up because you're not going to see them again until next year.
Man.
All in one spot. That went really quickly.
I always look forward to the farmers market. We didn't get out there as much as I would have
Not
liked
as
to
much,
this year,
no.
but it's always a great time, and I love to see how it grows every year. It's bigger and better. Reza. It's all the same letters.
Yeah.
Reza does a great job managing
I
it
keep
there.
seeing him passing me in the car, but I don't know if he would recognize me.
He knows you. He knows you. Of course he does. I see him all the time. And he's like, how's that Beth doing?
No,
I'm like,
he does not.
I'm like, oh, Reza, if only you knew. If only you knew.
So full.
Is that it, girls?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, there's Bo sleeping.
Wait, let me see.
Let me see that here. Here, let's see. There's Bo sleeping.
Oh, bless his heart. He's exhausted.
He's very
That's
tired.
poor Bo.
He's a tired man.
And
poor
then we had
fellow.
to have him come in here and perform
I
for
know,
us.
poor old timer. Hey, listen, girls. Great job on the news, as always. Thank you very much for your patience and ability to trudge on through as me and Colby are acting like juveniles. Colby, thank you for acting like a juvenile and coming back in. Enjoy that bag of little ground top,
Oh, I
Colby.
will.
I hope you do. And Mike and Debbie, thank you very much. Is Jason still there, or did he leave? No, he left. He left? All right. Well, thank you anyway,
He's like,
Jason.
I'm getting the
He's
hell
like, this
outta
is
here.
he was about to fall asleep, so he had to get going. And I'm sure the audience is half asleep now anyway.
I'm
so
starving.
And we are starving, so we're going to get going and eat out at the new what is it, Gateway Diner?
Gateway Diner.
Gateway Diner. We're gonna go out there and get a little corned beef, hash and eggs. We're gonna have ourselves something to eat there, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good time at the corned beef diner. We'll see you next week with Charlie Fennell.
AG Today's opening theme is written and performed by Colin Southfield and the Mushroom Country Band. Bumper music is arranged and performed by Billy Webster and sometimes Kevin McLeod. AG Today is produced by Matt Cowlery, Bethany Yingling, Debbie Jones, and Cindy Compton. Engineered by Colby Sumner and maybe sometimes someone else. Guest accommodations are provided by the guests themselves. We'll need a couple thousand patrons to be able to put people up in hotels. Speaking of patrons, maybe you'd like to become one. You'll find plenty of perks over there, not to mention hundreds of episodes that will help you further your Gettysburg and Civil War education.
Oh, wow.
Patreon.com/Addressing Gettysburg. I'm Huevos Grande, the voice of Addressing Gettysburg. Thanks for listening.
Put that on a t-shirt. Holy hell.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Dybbuk schmibbuk, I said more ham.
For people that bad at care.
Never fight uphill, me boys. Never fight uphill.
Veronica had a very funny joke today.
This concludes our broadcast day.
Car crashed into a building.